They brought us to this country as a labor force. We built a foundation and they hate us for it. They hate us for it. We built a foundation and they ain't pay us for it. They ain't pay us for it, but they gon' pay for it. Already prayed for it. Non-believers didn't pray for us. Non-believers didn't pray for us. We're black and we built the foundation. Stone by stone, generation to generation. Vultures said we had no culture. Them vultures got a Jay-Z poster. Them vultures got a lacy culture. Vultures eat what they didn't kill. Vultures sleep what they didn't build. They brought us to this country as a labor force. We built the foundation and they hate us for it. We built the foundation and they ain't pay us for it. They ain't pay for it, but they gon' pay for it. Already paid for it. Nobody prayed for it. Nobody didn't pray for us. Nobody didn't pray for us. We're black and we built the foundation. Stone by stone, generation to generation. Vultures said we had no culture. And vultures got a Jay-Z poster. Them vultures got a lacy poster.
And become part of our journey to uncover history's untold stories. Your support helps us create in-depth content, bring hidden narratives to life, and keep history alive for everyone.
In the heart of New York City, where towering skyscrapers rise above bustling streets and bridges stretch like steel veins over restless rivers, the story of its creation is often told as a tale of immigrant masons, wealthy patrons, and European-trained architects. Yet buried beneath the grand narrative of Gotham's rise lies a hidden chapter that has been almost entirely erased. It is the story of Black architects and builders, men whose hands shaped the very landmarks we walk past today, but whose names were intentionally forgotten in the city's official memory. New York, like much of America, was constructed not only on the labor of enslaved and freed African people, but also upon their genius, skill, and vision. Still, when history was written, their contributions were stripped away, leaving only whispers in archives and fragments in oral traditions. This erasure is not accidental. It is the result of centuries of systemic exclusion, racism, and deliberate rewriting of architectural history. During the 19th and early 20th centuries, when New York underwent its most dramatic transformation into a metropolis of global stature, architecture was considered a field reserved for white men with access to prestigious schools and elite social networks. Black craftsmen, designers, and architects were rarely credited for their work, even when their contributions were central to a building's construction. The structures remained, but the names attached to their creation disappeared into silence. One striking example lies in the overlooked story of the African American artisans and architects who helped design and shape Central Park, one of the world's most famous public landscapes. While the park is attributed almost exclusively to Frederick Law Olmsted and Calvert Vaux, who indeed provided the master plan, the execution of its design required a vast workforce of Black masons, carpenters, and laborers who brought the plan to life. Yet the erasure went even deeper. Before the park's construction, there was a thriving African American community called Seneca Village, established in the 1820s, whose homes, churches, and schools were demolished to clear land for Olmsted's project. Many of the displaced residents were skilled craftsmen who, ironically, were later hired to build the park that destroyed their homes. Their names were lost, but their hands remain imprinted on the stones, bridges, and pathways still used today. Consider also the case of Vertner Tandy, a name rarely mentioned in mainstream architectural history, but whose achievements mark him as one of the most important early Black architects in New York. Born in 1885 in Kentucky, Tandy was the first African-American registered architect in New York State and a man of remarkable skill. He studied architecture at Cornell University, a rare opportunity for a black man at the time, and went on to design some of New York's most iconic early 20th century structures. One of his most famous works was Villa Luro, the lavish Irvington-on-Hudson mansion built for Madam C.J. Walker, the pioneering black entrepreneur and philanthropist. The mansion was a masterpiece of Italian design, and its grandeur rivaled the estates of the wealthiest white elites along the Hudson River. Yet despite Tandy's brilliance, his role in shaping New York's built environment has often been relegated to the margins of history books. Tandy's work extended beyond individual estates. He also contributed to the design of important institutional buildings, such as St. Philip's Episcopal Church in Harlem, one of the first major black congregations in New York. His church design became a cornerstone of Harlem's cultural life during the Harlem Renaissance, standing as a physical and spiritual landmark for generations of African Americans who shaped the city's identity. Yet mainstream architectural histories tend to overlook these works, favoring instead the celebrated names of white architects, whose buildings were often constructed with the help of black artisans working in the shadows. The story of erasure is further tied to the long tradition of black builders in America, a tradition stretching back to slavery when enslaved Africans were forced to master trades in carpentry, masonry, and ironwork. In colonial New York, enslaved craftsmen constructed much of the city's early infrastructure, including Fort Amsterdam, roads, and even parts of Trinity Church. Though their labor was indispensable, their contributions were credited to wealthy patrons and European-trained designers. This practice of erasing black builders carried forward into the 19th century when free black artisans continued to shape the city but rarely saw their names etched into its history. Evidence of this hidden history is scattered in archives. For example, records show that black stonecutters and masons worked on early bridges, civic buildings, and churches, yet their identities remain unrecorded. One of the rare names that surfaces is that of Wilson Brown, a black stonecutter who worked in New York during the early 1800s. Though not celebrated in textbooks, Brown was part of the team of skilled craftsmen who provided the masonry that defined the architectural character of the young city. These fragments remind us that entire communities of black builders were once central to New York's growth, even if their legacies were deliberately obscured. The erasure of black architects and builders in New York was not only about race but also about power. Architecture is more than stone and steel. It is a language of identity, prestige, and cultural memory. By denying black people credit for their contributions, the gatekeepers of history reinforced a narrative that depicted African Americans as laborers but never creators, as hands but never minds. To acknowledge their genius would have disrupted the myth of white cultural superiority that underpinned both the city's social order and the broader ideology of the United States during its rise. Still, the truth cannot be completely erased. Scholars and activists have worked to recover the stories of these forgotten architects and builders, piecing together their contributions from fragments of evidence. For example, in Harlem, historic preservationists have begun to highlight the role of Vertner Tandy and other black designers in shaping the neighborhood's architecture. Similarly, researchers have uncovered the profound impact of black craftsmen on Central Park, leading to new recognition of Seneca Village and its legacy. These efforts are part of a larger movement to decolonize architectural history, restore the memory of those who were intentionally silenced. The neglect of black architects in New York also raises deeper questions about how we understand history itself. Whose names are preserved and whose are forgotten? What does it mean for a city to celebrate monuments and buildings without acknowledging the people who built them? New York's skyline tells a story of wealth, ambition, and progress, but it also tells a story of erasure, of lives erased from official memory, even as their work stands immortal in brick and stone. To walk the streets of the city is to walk among ghosts, ghosts of architects, artisans, and builders whose visions still shape the urban landscape but whose names were never allowed to endure. The tragedy of this erasure is that it robs not only black Americans of their rightful heritage, but all people of a fuller understanding of the city's history. It flattens the story of New York into a one-dimensional tale of white genius, when in truth it was a place shaped by many hands, many cultures, and many minds. To restore these lost narratives is not simply an act of justice. It is an act of truth-telling, one that allows us to see New York as it truly is, a city built by the world, including the brilliance of those once consigned to silence. If we look closely, we can still see traces of their presence. The ornate masonry in old Harlem churches, the ironwork on forgotten brownstones, the carved stone in parks and civic buildings. All of these may bear the touch of Black artisans whose names never appeared in records. The grandeur of Villa Lauro, the sacred walls of St. Philip's, the foundations of Central Park, and even the streets that once held Seneca Village are monuments not just to New York's greatness but to the Black architects and builders who gave the city its form. The task before us today is to name them, honor them, and ensure their stories are no longer erased. For too long, history has been written to serve power, not truth. The narrative of New York's landmarks has celebrated patrons and architects who often stood atop the labor of the unacknowledged. But the city cannot hide from its past forever. To walk its streets with open eyes is to see that the fingerprints of Black architects and builders are everywhere, hidden in plain sight. They designed, they built, they dreamed, and though their names were erased, their legacy remains etched into the very bones of New York.
Let him cook! Let him cook now!
Flag. And if this is your first time seeing it, then you are in the right place. It was in Elizabeth, New Jersey, that a young man named Melvin Charles sat on the curb watching the parade go by in his hometown. And as he watched, he saw how much pride people took in waving the flags of their countries, but did not feel the same connection to the American flag. In a powerful PBS special, Charles talks about how this conviction stayed with him for many years until he joined forces with one of his neighbors, Gleason T. Jackson.
Down the street, honoring the 30th of May. And then when it came time for the Negro, at that time we were called, I remember every year we would march down. And guess what? All we had was the American flag. And I went home to my mother, and I remember asking her, and I think I couldn't have been no more than 5 or 6 at that point. I said, Mommy, why don't we have a flag?
They wanted something that would represent the unique heritage of Black Americans, acknowledge their contributions to the United States, and something that would be a symbol for cultural pride. And eventually, they decided on a flag. Every piece of the flag, from the fig leaves to the blunted sword and the colors chosen, had a specific meaning. In 1967, once the flag was officially designed, Charles and his partner Gleason took the flag to City Hall, where after facing opposition, it was supported by the mayor and officially hoisted in Newark, New Jersey. It was an astonishing moment of pride that ignited a movement. About a year and a half after the flag was designed, Gleason T. Jackson was killed in a factory accident in the plant that he worked in at the time. However, Melvin Charles continued his activism and spent many years educating others about the flag and all that it represented. He even released a book in 1994 called The Rallying Point, where he detailed his long journey of the creation of the flag. And after decades of educating and empowering communities with the Black American Heritage flag, on March 15, 2017, Melvin Charles passed away. I had so many questions after learning this incredible story, so I spoke with Melvin Charles' oldest daughter, Joy Charles Kay, who is president of Black American Flag LLC. And we spoke more in depth about the Black American Heritage flag and how more and more people today are beginning to represent it. So to start, I feel like this is the most prominent question when people first hear about this flag is Sure. Why is it not everywhere and why do more people not know about it?
I think that's a great question. I think for many years, my father attempted to have this flag circulated across the nation. He traveled to many different states. He even wrote a book about it called The Rallying Point. And he did the best that he could with limited funds to increase awareness. However, I think a few years ago, when I basically woke up and took over, because of the internet and because of the way information travels now, it's just made it easier to get the word out now than it was then. I just think it wasn't his time back then, even though he laid all the groundwork for it. Mm-hmm.
That's incredible. Just seeing, how your father brought it from that point, and then you carrying that torch today to even seeing Saweetie on the Met Gala carpet with the Christian Allen gown. I mean, how did you feel when you saw that?
I was blown away. Actually, my children were blown away because they're millennials. They're like, Mom, you can't tell us anything now. Sweetie's wearing, Grandpa's flag. But I thought, this is fantastic, that this younger generation is beginning to know what this flag is and that they are represented through this flag.
Other tributes to the flag include the former 2021 Miss Wisconsin, Kira Yuang, who won Miss United States of America 2022 as she dazzled judges with this gown for the patriotic wear category of the competition. I was doing a little digging on the Instagram, and I saw a picture of what looks to be your daughter or Mr. Charles's granddaughter wearing
my
shirt.
daughter.
Yes. Can you tell me a little about that?
Okay, so my daughter, I think she was a first grader at that point, and at her school they had an event where they honored or they wanted to recognize everybody's different cultures. And so, of course, because of my father, I said, Justine, that's my daughter's name, you should wear, Grandpa's flag. So he drew the flag on a shirt and he painted it for her. And that's what she wore back in 1996, I think it was.
Wow. From your perspective and, from conversations with your father, what was the big difference between the Pan-African flag and then the Black American Heritage flag?
Well, the Black American Heritage flag really came out of my father's idea and Gleason Jackson's idea too, to have something that represented Blacks who were born and raised in America, came from slavery, worked very hard to raise families, to finally get jobs, to finally get the vote. And I would say that's the main difference, to celebrate who we are and all the contributions that we have made to this country. My father was a veteran, and he believed in this country, and he believed that we offered a lot to America. And I would say that's the biggest difference between the two flags. His whole mission with this flag was for us to be proud of who we are and proud of what we've brought to this country, what we continue to do in this country, that we belong here as much as any other immigrant, that we've been here a very long time. And that's basically what he wanted, was us to feel comfortable in our skin and in our own country, and not to feel like, we don't belong here.
Melvin Charles created the flag that he always wanted as a kid, and it'll be this flag that will continue his legacy. To my last question, what do you think your father would say, seeing today how many people are becoming aware of something that he really dedicated his life to, and something that's resonated and it's continuing to resonate with so many that felt the exact same way that he felt during that parade when he was a kid?
I think he would be so overwhelmed by it. I think he would say, well, it's about time. But, he would be so overwhelmed by the number of people who have gravitated towards it, people who have used it on social media. I think, he would just be overwhelmed and so happy and so proud of the fact that, the flag, that people are finally getting it. And sometimes it takes a generation for things to take root and to move forward.
As demonstrations continue around the country, people are beginning to celebrate their culture and their ancestry with the Black American Heritage flag.
To the businessman that was in there, and there was a piece of the child that's still in there, that I could stand there and wave the flag.
You can find more information on the flag and original designs of the merchandise at originalblackamericanheritageflag.com. This has been a report by Aaliyah Seabrooks.
Hello, I am Mayor Brandon Johnson, and I am proud to join you in recognizing and celebrating Africa Day. The continent of Africa is made up of 1.2 billion people with diverse countries full of rich traditions, cultures, and heritage. The African diaspora can be found in cities and countries around the globe. And right here in Chicago, our proud African communities have made indelible contributions to the growth and fabric of our amazing city. So this Africa Day, let us take a moment to celebrate the achievements of the people of Africa, the progress made by African nations, and the traditions and culture they have shared with us. And let us also show them that we will embrace and support them as they continue to overcome and face their challenges head on. Thank you, and happy Africa Day, everyone.
Dr. Cap,
What's going on, Miss Freedom?
hi. I hope you had a great Memorial Day weekend.
Absolutely.
Are you familiar with Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson?
Yeah, I just saw something where he was talking about Africa Day, which
He wrote Happy Africa Day, everyone, on Memorial Day.
yeah,
And I was wondering what your thoughts were on that.
yeah. Thank you, dear. Yeah, I never heard of no damn Africa Day, until he mentioned it. Did y'all see that? Where he was talking about Africa Day and all the African immigrants this and the African immigrants that, and thank goodness it was very interesting. I didn't know there was an Africa Day. What does that mean? So yeah, Africa Day was, yesterday, the day before. So what the hell does that mean? We got to watch some of this stuff. And no disrespect to Africa, but what's Africa Day? They were like, yeah, shout out to Africa and everybody in the African diaspora. To me, it almost sounds like something to undermine our reparations. Listen, shout out to Africa, but hell, we're foundational Black American. And, what we need is a foundational Black American Heritage Day. We got Juneteenth, but we need a Heritage Day for foundational Black Americans specifically. If we're going to do that, if we're going to talk about some African Day, and then you got the Caribbean Day and Puerto Rican Day. When is the Puerto Rican Day parade happening?
No.
Don't that happen pretty soon, guys? Where my New Yorkers? Because from what I remember, I think the Puerto Rican Day parades is usually around June. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know. So my New York people, let me know. But that Africa Day thing is very, very interesting. All right, let's get Darius. Darius in the building. What's up, Darius? Mr. Darius, hop on in, sir. Mr. Darius.
Yes, I just want to highlight that African Day bullshit. So as you can see, the writings were on the wall. It's just that we didn't recognize those symbols, right? Those symbolisms, the signs. Africa Day, you dig, or our day, you feel me? Our American custom days. So they were prepping the minds for this day today for a while. Okay, so I went back and I found some videos. Okay, I found some videos. People calling in Tariq, and we're gonna touch on some of them. So they were trying to prep us for today. They thought we'd be more receptive, right? If we're African Americans, right? If we're African Americans, then there's nothing wrong with African Day. African Day is something we support if we're African Americans, right? So the erasure is really a swap. It's a bait and switch. Again, if you hear Tethers and Pan-Africans, how they identify us, they hate when we say we're foundational, Black, and American. So what they want to do is call us African, right? At the same time, they'll constantly and consistently refer to themselves as Black. Just watch the pattern. When you watch these shows, when they call up them here, when you watch Tariq or whoever else, watch how they identify us consistently and watch how they identify themselves. When you talking about Dr. Ancient Mama Maya, Dr. Ruxpin. Listen to those guys. They're going to say Unc. They're going to say us African Americans, but when they talk about them over there, they're going to say Black Africans. They're going to make sure they say Black in there. So it's like, wait a minute. Why are you calling us African Americans consistently? By doing that, you're erasing the Black part. And that's the part. Why not just call us Black African Americans, right? You call them Black Africans, right? You make sure to tag along Black with them, but with us, you make sure not to say Black anything. You're erasing the Black. So all this, this was preparation for a day like this, and who knows what else they got up their sleeve. You dig? But this is a big bang, okay? And there's who knows how much more we're in store to hear, like all these gimmicks they got. You feel me? Give me 1 second. Okay. So what else do we got? Oh, let's go here. Okay, hold on. I don't know why. Look, so this is not supposed to reset. I keep forgetting to download Firefox. This thing just keep resetting. So now look, it plays without I missed my spot most likely. I did. This is way fast. This is way further than I wanted to be. Okay, so now by calling us African anything is, remember Malcolm X talked about Novocaine? He said when you pull your tooth out without anything, it's very painful. But he said, but if the doctors give you Novocaine, you can suffer in peace. Let me see if I can find that clip. Malcolm X has he has some analogies for you. Okay, let me see if I can find that in here. Easy. Give me a second. It might be hard to find because I don't even know how to find that clip. Malcolm X. No. Okay. Nope. Suffer peacefully. Okay, is this it?
To keep you and me in check, keep us under control, keep us passive and peaceful. It's like when you go to the dentist and the man is going to take your tooth. You're going to fight him when he start pulling. So they squirt some stuff in your jaw called Novocaine to make you think they're not doing anything to you. So you sit there and because you got all that Novocaine in your jaw, you suffer peacefully.
Suffer peacefully. Okay.
Blood running all down your jaw. And you don't know what's happening. Because someone has taught you to suffer peacefully.
Yeah, listen, I know my stuff. I found it. You dig? You can't fake this, man. Yeah, I know my Malcolm. Grassroots speech and Ballad of Bullet is Malcolm X's most famous speeches and some of my famous all times. Like I used to put hip hop instrumentals like way back, family, around 2012, 11. My music was lectures, Dr. Claude Anderson, lectures like that. Joel Pookroom, Dr. Joyce Degree, Larry DeGrew, with a hip hop instrument behind them. You feel me? And that's how I remember the information. All right, check this out. Dr. Khalid Muhammad, same thing.
Their flag. After all I've been through in this country, I'm still going to use their plantation. All
right. We look at anyone that is putting in our place.
So the reason why I brought up Malcolm X with the Novocaine analogy, suffering peacefully, they want us to embrace African so we can suffer our erasure peacefully, because we're embracing the terms that make the erasure go easy. Okay.
And getting access to resources that belong to us, because they built their core wealth off coerced labor from our people. But you can come in as an African, as a quote unquote immigrant, and get certain access to things that maybe the foundational Black Americans, what they call themselves, believe that, that's our stuff. And so I don't look at the African any different than I look at any other, ethnic group that comes over and tries to take that place.
If that's the case, where is your campaign against the Latinos? Because I don't see it. Where's your campaign against the Caucasian immigrants? I don't see it.
Okay, now this is a lie. This is a concerted effort for these guys to lie and pretend that we're okay with all forms of oppression against us from all other ethnic groups, as long as it ain't Afro-Caribbeans and Africans, will let anybody oppress us. Okay, so they keep telling this lie as though they don't see videos of us knocking the heads off a white T-man for calling us the N-word or disrespecting us. And all day long on YouTube and IG, the dark web, you'll find us slapping the taste out of white supremacy. But they want to lie and believe this lie. But let's go with that. Let's say if white T-man is disrespecting us. Let's say Latino man is disrespecting us. Let's say if the Africans and the Caribbean as well. Let's say if we choose to slap the taste out of the mouth, I'm saying figuratively, I'm saying debate-wise, check them, not physical. Let's say if we choose to only address the Caribbean and Africa. What's the problem with that? Okay. Why? Who tells us who to address and when to address and when should we? Okay. If I got jumped by 7 people and I had to go to the hospital, if I don't want to, I don't got to sue all 7. Let's say if 3 goofies were my cousins and they're in the gang. And let's say I know their mom and they struggling and I say, I'm good. I don't got to sue all 7. I don't got to press charges on 7. I can press charges on 1. I can sue 1. If I can prove that 1 was involved and accountable for my injuries and everything else, I can just press charges on 1. Okay, so no, just because, now here's a question back to Umar and those that like him. If everybody's oppressing us, why would Africa and the Caribbean join that oppression assault? Why would they put themselves in the way of a lawsuit, figuratively speaking, going back to my analogy? Why would they put themselves in the way of us? Hold them accountable. But how about that? How about we say, no, enough. Okay, so this fake little idea they have, it's a telegraph. They repeated the same thing. It's no different than if a cop pulls over and all that type of stuff. These are telegraph talking points that they say over and over and over.
See it. Where's your campaign against the South Asian and North Asian immigrants? I don't see.
But see, so let's, what I think fragmented everything is the reparation talk. And so I think the reparation talk, a lot of the foundational, and I'm, I could be speaking out of school, but my limited understanding of it is, I think that they believe that the reparations belong to descendants of slaves.
Well, I'm going to say this as a Pan-Africanist, because we invented the reparations fight. It don't come from FBA. It don't come from ADOS. This was around before they were born.
Okay, so I don't know why they keep saying this. You didn't invent nothing. Reparations was common sense, right? Now, but your package was flawed. You guys messed it up. Okay, you want to talk about, let's do it, family, on the fly. You dig? Let's do it. Check this out. This is what he's talking about. We invented the. One more time, so y'all can laugh at this guy and others that make this claim. We're gonna talk. We're gonna review the people he's talking about and their reparations claim. How ridiculous it was. Okay, hold on. That is. So we're gonna review the people who he's mentioning and how ridiculous their reparations claims were.
Fight. Well, I'm going to say this.
That the reparations belong to descendants of slaves.
Well, I'm going to say this as a Pan-Africanist, because we invented the reparations fight. It don't come from FBA. It don't come from ADOS. This was around before they were born. You feel?
Okay. Okay. So now let's go to what he's talking about. Before they were born. Okay. Okay. Let's do it. As you can see, it's not in my search engine, so this is a freestyle. Here we go. Okay. All right. So now, look, founded in 1968. That was indeed before I was born. Okay. The Republic of New Africa, RNA. Wait, you can't see it. My fault. You can't see it. There you go. So he's right. The Republic of New Africa, RNA, was a black nationalist organization founded in 1968 aiming to create an independent, majority black country in the southeastern U.S. Black Belt. They wanted to create an independent black majority country, not city, not state, country. It sought to establish a sovereign nation in 5 states. Look how ridiculous this is what he's referring to. It sought to establish a sovereign nation in 5 states: Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and South Carolina. So everybody got to get the hell out. Look at this. Along with $4 billion in reparations. Along with 400 billion. Family, let me tell you how much 400 billion is in 1968. Hold on. How did they come to that term, 400 billion? Okay, hold on. I'm typing one hand, so forgive me. This is the reparations stuff he's bigging up. Okay. Let's figure this out. Okay. So let's see. No, oh my bad. Wait, how much is no. I said that wrong. How much is no, I put that wrong. I typed that wrong. There you go. I put that wrong. Okay. So 400 billion and actually worked. Okay. And let's see. 400 million in 1960 equivalent to all right. I'm typing that wrong. But anyway, I put that in wrong again. Okay, so it's 4 billion today. See, it's saying 400 million. This is wrong. It's supposed to say 400 billion. You know what? I'm just gonna ask. See, it's not registering. I'm gonna ask Chat GPT. All right. Oh, to be honest, I don't even know how to word it. I'm trying to get the magnitude of 400 million. How do I even word that? Because it's gonna be less today. As you can see, 400. No. What is the? I hate this little bar. Hold on. I'm gonna get this right. Okay, I got it. 400 billion in 1960s as I know how to word it now. Equi. Okay, I got it. I think I worded it better this time because I wanted equivalence. I don't want to know what is worth today. I want to know the equivalence in power. Okay. Give me a second. I got to know this. But I think they're going to. So anyway, as you can see, they was asking for 400 billion in reparations, family, in the 1960s. 400 billion. And he's referring to these guys as that they were claiming, putting in reparations claims before ADOS and before FBA. Okay. Family, I got it. So what they were pretty much asking for, check this out, family. I told you I gotta word it the right way. I got it. I'm a smart guy. I'm going to word it the right way. To understand the equivalent of 400 billion in the 1960s, we have to take a look at it through two lenses: purchasing power, what the money could buy, and economic power, how much of the total economy that money represented. In the 1960s, 400 billion wasn't just a lot of money, it was almost the entire weight of the American economy. Family, can I read that again? In the 1960s, 400 billion wasn't just a lot of money. It was almost all of the currency put together in the American economy. Purchasing power, inflation adjusted. If you simply adjust for the rising cost of goods, CPI, the numbers are massive because $1 in 1960 had the same buying power as roughly $11 today. 400 billion in 1960 is equivalent to approximately 4.42 trillion in 2026, family. 400 billion in 1969 is equivalent to approximately 3.56 trillion in 2026. In layman terms, having 400 billion in the 1960s is like having the combined net worth of Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, and Bill Gates multiplied by 5. In layman terms, having 400 billion in the 1960s is like having the combined net worth of Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, and Bill Gates multiplied by 5. Okay? So now this is Umar talking about we Pan-Africanists, we did this long before FBA, long before ADOS, and I just made a fool out of you, my guy.
Feel me? Well, I'm going to say this as a Pan-Africanist, because we invented the reparations fight. It don't come from FBA. It don't come from ADOS. This was around before they were born. You feel me?
Yeah, we feel you. You wanted all of the money in the American economy. Yeah, that makes sense. Now, family, it gets worse. It gets worse. It gets worse. Look at this. The proposed territory includes, so they wanted all the money in the economy plus 5 states. So everybody got to get the hell out. If you ain't foundational, get the hell out. Okay, now, key objectives including securing independence. Now, don't forget, they wanted their own country. So they're going to take those 5 states and they're going to do something that the Confederates couldn't even do. They're going to secede from the Union. Oh, my God. Okay, so this was a complete joke. Although the organization never realized its goal of an independent nation state, it was a significant part of the Black Power movement attempting to create a revolutionary culture in the United States. So it was obviously a nothing burger. It flopped like most of Pan-Africanism things flop. Okay, so this is what happens when you know your stuff. Yeah, I went right to what he's referring to. See, but he wouldn't tell you that because he know if he tell you that, you'll research it and laugh at him. Okay, 5 states plus all the money in America's pocket, empty out your pockets. Okay, yeah. So now all that tough talk. That's why, family, I would love to talk to this guy, mano y mano. Like he has to talk to me. He can't just run. Him and Sassu and Seti. Like these guys, I would make them look so silly, man. I heard their arguments. It's so goofy, man. So goofy. Him and Sassu and Seti. I would love on these topics: reparations, delineation, Pan-Africanism. I would love to talk to these guys on those 3 things.
Pan-Africanists gave birth to it. Reparations for me is not about different groups and sects of the race fighting for their crumb off the big pie.
The big pie. There's no big pie. The crumbs are the pie. Okay? There's no big pie. And we're not fighting for nothing. That's the money that's owed to us. You see how they downplay us? You see how they disrespect us? Now, they would never do that when it comes to the motherland, what he would call the motherland Africa. They would never speak like that when it comes to what Africa is trying to get what's owed to them. They would never speak like that. They'd be like, yeah, man, they owe, they got to pay. But all these clowns have sold us out. They disrespect us. They undermine us. They talk down to us all the time. Now we're begging for crumbs off master's pie. There's nothing about reparations that's the master's. That's all ours. Okay, that's like saying a check that's owed to you from your job. The last check, you're begging from crumbs from the bigger pie. Ain't no bigger pie. That's my portion of my hard work and labor. That's what's owed to me. Ain't no bigger pie. Ain't no bigger pie attached to my check. My check is my check. That's independent of anything else you got going on. Okay? He's trying to be the Novocaine. He's trying to have us suffer peacefully.
There should be one fight, one reparation. Do you feel me, Loon? We can split it up how we want to split it up after we get it. But by you fighting.
Family, he's talking about Africans, the 1.5 billion Africans in all of the islands. He's saying that all 1.5 billion, all of us, all the islands, he's saying everybody is going to split our cut. He's saying that's the better goal. All these nations, that has nothing to do with our check, right? Our suffrage, our experiences, they are going to get a piece of our pie. Why will Africa be seeking reparations when they're the reason why we're even seeking reparations? They sold us. Okay, human trafficking. They sold us to white people to enslave us. But before white people enslaved us, Africans enslaved us first. They enslaved us. They had the system of slavery. They enslaved us. White caught up on that. He said, yo, put me on game. That's cool. I want a piece of that. And he said, how much? And then they negotiated and they sold us. So you don't get reparations when you're the reason why we're being enslaved over here in white tea land. You owe too. But I'm telling you, I don't know what it is with these guys because I don't believe they're getting paid. It's more, if you guys want to talk about some spirit, I'm not into the spiritual stuff, but I will entertain that just for tonight. It has to be something deeper. It has to be something deeper that these guys get for selling us out because it can't be money. They're broke. It has to be something else, man. Is it they trying to get their soul back? I don't know what it is. They sold it, trying to get it back in exchange for hours. I don't know what it is, but it sounds very, very demonic. Let's go.
Divided for the same restitution. You playing right into the hands of your enemy. There was one slavery.
So Wait. What do you mean one slavery?
Took some of us to the hands of your enemy. There was one slavery. Took some of us to the Caribbean. There was one slavery. Took some of us to the Americas. There was one slavery. Took some of us to Central and South America, right? But there was one African slavery. So the Africans of the world, from the continent to the British, Canada had slavery. Australia had it, right?
What about Africa?
We should all come and sit down. Let's fight this together.
See, I think they reject
You
that.
would get it quicker.
Yeah.
You would get more because guess what? It's a united front. But because we
Wait. How do you do? Yeah, see, family, and that's why these guys asked for 400 billion in the 1960s and won in 5 states. That retarded, illogical, short bus logic is cancerous. It's terrible. It's dangerous.
we hate each other more than we hate racism. Because we hate each other more than we hate racism. I don't poking fun at and criticizing others for not standing with.
Okay, all right. So that's it. So family, I ain't gonna play no more of that. It's just disgusting. It's almost as disgusting as this. In central Nigeria's plateau, dogs are eaten as traditional delicacy. So it makes sense why they want our history, right? Because look at their history. How can you put this in a history month?
This market attracts buyers from thousands of kilometers away. Now, a dog here could sell for between $25 and $40, depending on the size. How do they get these dogs? And why is dog trade such a booming business here?
If you don't put that Marcus Garvey funny money up, that money had Marcus Garvey face all over it, man. Get that money out of it. Dogs. And they got nerve to tell us what to do with our money and our reparations and our agenda. And we need to unite with them, come together. And he omitted the reason why we even ended up in the hands of white people. He ain't gonna talk about that though, family. He gonna ignore that. All right, so let's get out of there. And let's go here because tonight I'm gonna play some videos to entertain you, but we're gonna get some reading in between. So so get your coffee, get your caffeine in. It's a lot of reading we gotta do. So I'm gonna try to entertain and read. I ain't trying to bore y'all all day, but it's a lot of reading because we're talking about the origins of Black History Month. Okay, the purpose, all that stuff. Okay, and who was behind it in America historically to help sabotage it, to bring it to where we at today, where we gotta fight, do a tug of war for our own history. Can't make this up. We gotta fight for our own history. We had to fight for hip hop. We had to fight for our own name. They want to give us African American. We're like, nah, we good. We're just Black. And now they're trying to strip our history. We had to fight for our reparations. Everything that's ours, we're finding ourselves fighting for it when it's ridiculous. It's just ours. It's our possession. All right. Give me a second to get to what I need to get to. Okay. Let me get to what I need to get to. Get to my playlist. So I think okay, hold on one second, family. Hold on. If you haven't already, please like the video. I know it's super late. I know it's Friday. People doing their thing, having fun. So just do me a favor and like the video. Let's try to get as many people here as possible. You know? Okay. So let me find the video that I'm looking for. So we did that. Okay. So I think I know where we're at. Okay, like I said, a little entertainment plus some reading. So I think I'm gonna just let's do some video real fast. People like the video, so let's use the entertainment to draw more folks in. Everybody,
It's not often you meet a 21-year-old with his own
everybody.
autonomous drone
Oh my God, I'm
weapons
pressing
manufacturing facility.
pause, man. Everybody like the video. Let's try to get as much family in here as possible, and we'll just rock with what we got. No problema. Okay, so I want to pop it off right here. This is ridiculous. Okay. Wait, how we get down here?
You see? So yeah, those are real subliminal things, man. Those are some Tom and Jerry, the Tomcat get whooped on all the time. And remember, the person who owned Tom was a big fat black woman. Y'all remember that? How many of y'all remember that? Y'all old enough to remember that? The Tom and Jerry cartoons, it was a big fat black woman who owned the cat. And they would have her in every blue moon. Her name was Mammy Two Shoes. Y'all Google that. That was the actual name of the character.
Really?
They would never show her face. They'd always show her legs, and she'd be talking.
Right, and you could tell she was really big backed, and you could tell she's black.
In a stereotypical manner. Child, what you doing here, child? Her name was Mammy Two Shoes. Look that up.
I did not know that.
There was some heavy
Wow.
racism going on in those cartoons, man.
You don't say.
Oh, it was some heavy racism going on in those cartoons. Yeah. Yeah, they banned those episodes. They don't show them no more. But they would show them in the 80s, though. Some of us Gen Xers, we grew up watching them. Yeah, we grew up watching those in the 80s still. Yeah. Man. Let's see who this. Oh. Hey, ma'am.
Hello, is that a picture?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Oh no. Okay, this good.
Okay. Oh, Lord, man. You already feel like dealing with them dry. Oh, yeah, I don't want to with them dry attitude. Hello. Back there. Lord, no. I don't feel like dealing with that. But yeah, going back to the Captain Do-Rag. Yeah, so yeah, we're very hypersensitive. A lot of people are hypersensitive about stereotypical cartoons. And, releasing something like that around Black History Month, And just because they got a semi-melanated writer to do it, see, that they're not going to be able to hide behind that no more. Just because somebody got some damn melanin, they think they can hide behind that, and that's just not happening. Hello.
عليكم.
Hello, who is? I can't see you.
الله يسعدك يا أخوي قيم جولة دحش كرمال هالبيبي.
Is this Asia? Good Lord. I don't know what she got, but she kept pushing the button. I just blocked her. I don't know what the hell that was. And don't want to know. Yeah, I think that was Asia. I got her out of there. But like I said, man, we shouldn't tolerate any form of disrespect with these cartoons, especially coming from people who ain't from the lineage, because they wouldn't like it if we use stereotypes about their culture. You understand?
That part.
Let's say a foundational Black American did a cartoon about a Jamaican and call it the Flip Flop Flash, where he had flip flops he put on and he could run fast. Now, would they be cool with that?
Hell no.
What if they got a Nigerian superhero and called him Musty Magneto. He had musty powers that made him magnetic. You wouldn't like that. What if they got a Ugandan woman and called a Wonder Wig woman? She had a magic wig,
Wonder
and the
Wig
wig
woman.
had radioactive power. They wouldn't be cool with that. You understand? So yeah, we're not cool with caricatures either. If y'all not gonna be cool with Wonder Wig woman, we ain't cool with Captain Damn Do-Rag. Damn. You know? Give me a break, man. Oh man, yeah, the Tether Avengers. Right. You know, and yeah, what if they had a Somali character and call it Ultra Brain, because his big ass head. He got a big head with an ultra brain that can read other people's thoughts. Yeah, they wouldn't be cool with that. They're like, hey, wait a minute. Ultra brain? Why? Oh, this is insensitive. Y'all wouldn't like that. All right. So yeah, we don't tolerate that nonsense either. All right. Hold on. Who is this? All right, come on. Let's get some of the family in here. Let's get the family in here. All right. Okay. God damn. I'm sorry. These so many people are trying to. Hold on, man. Hold. Who?
Yeah, so it's that part I want you to hear, the part about the cartoons, and I thought that was part of the history, part of Black American history. So that wasn't about Africans necessarily. That was about Black Americans. When they played those Bugs Bunny things, they were getting on us. Like I said, her name is Mammy Two Shoes. They were not talking about anybody from Africa. That woman was heavy set, big back. That was trying to be funny and talk about obese Black American mammies. You dig? That's our history. That's not everybody's history. Okay, hold on. So let me get to the next one. Next video. And keep in mind, a little entertainment, and then we're going to be getting to I think I canceled out the wrong video. Oops. Hey, we're gonna play a couple of videos. It's getting late, so a couple of videos, and then we're gonna do some reading. This is late. I was trying to go live earlier. It just wasn't gonna happen. Mm-hmm. All right, let's get this ready. And 1, 2, 3, we're ready.
That depends on the individual. All right. Man. Who is that? Randy? Randy, you said race hustler? All right, Randy, hop on. Let's talk about race hustler. What's race hustling, sir? Hop on, Randy. Mr. Randy, hop on, sir, if you will, if you may. What's going on, Randy?
Well, how you doing, Tariq?
I am good. Now, who's race hustling, Randy? What's that? What's race hustling?
So, I was with you when you used to really pump Claude Anderson, when you was really talking about that maybe 10 years ago, and I was really with you on that, and then you just flipped the corner, and now you're doing all this delineation stuff, and it's just like so counterproductive.
To what?
Right.
Well, you're trying to set up this division between Black people in the diaspora and Black descendants of slaves, which I think.
Lord's Child, thank you for the $1.99. This guy said, by us delineating like every other ethnic group in the world, by us delineating, we're causing division amongst who? Hold on. Thank you for $1.99 super chat. The lineage love, Laura's child. Pan-Africans are brainwashed. Yeah, they are more than brainwashed. Brainwashed means you're the victim, right? They are now the culprit. Like they are doing the brainwashing. Like they are beyond brainwashing. They are now the brainwashers, and they're on the job right now.
Division between black people in the diaspora and black descendants of slaves, which
When did we ever have this unified front? Like I'm just lost. I didn't get that memo.
think is important that you have your own identity, but to what end? It just seems like you get on here and you like to shame and ridicule black Africans, and then you have some kind of fake line of, oh, this person could be mixed, and it's just like, where does it end? You know, who's the arbiter
Fake line?
of, you know,
What's a
who's
fake
the
line? That's not.
who,
No.
like,
So you say something, you got to stand on business. You
I'm
just
standing
can't
on
say
business. So you just said that
Okay.
the brother
It's
who
not a
said
fake line. If your lineage goes back to the beginning of the country, that is foundational. That's not a fake line.
no,
That's
what I'm
logic.
saying is that you just said the person who was mixed. Oh, well, you have some lineage there because you're mixed. It's like who gets to decide what that is, you know?
Logic, sir. Logic. That's just logic. Logic. If your family was here at the beginning of the country, you are foundational. They're foundational. If they were here at the founding of this country, that makes them foundational. That's
Okay,
just a
so
logic term.
so what do you get from that? Like, what like Claude Anderson used to say something.
You don't get deported.
Let me just put it this
That
way.
means you don't get deported. That means you don't get deported. You are
Claude
foundational.
Anderson,
You
I
understand?
had a
They're
long conversation
foundational.
with
If they
him
were
one
here
time.
at the
He said
founding
that
of
you
this
can call
country,
yourself
that makes
whatever you
them
want to
foundational.
call yourself.
That's
Okay,
just a logic
in
term.
relation to like the LGBT community, you could be a tree, you could be a rock, you could be whatever. But what does that make it better for you? Like, does that improve your position at the end of the day? And that's
Yeah.
my question for you, Tariq.
Yeah, I just told you, we don't get deported. That's a great thing. We can't get deported. We ain't running from ICE. That's a phenomenal.
And family, let me add to that. So, and this part of my reading in a second. So, matter of fact, I'm gonna read a little bit right after this exchange. Yeah, what in order for Black Americans to begin to fix what America broke, destroyed within our communities, right? We need to know what exactly is broken and to what degree, to what extent. You can't do that when there's other broken people or other broken people in our pile of broken pieces. It's hard to differentiate who is who and what body part belongs to whom with all these people in the toy. You know, like we're a bunch of broken toys and we need fixing, but it's hard to fix when we don't know which toy is ours, because we're not going to fix some stranger's toy, and we don't know which toys belong to some strangers. So we need disaggregated data. So, and that helps out our reparations claim too, because when we look to when we look for redress, to begin to calculate the damage that systemic racism has done to us today in 2026, by dog piling a bunch of immigrants over here and throwing them into our stats, and they're hyper selected and they got some type of success, it could make it look like we're not as bad as we say we are due to systemic racism. Do y'all get that? It's like putting icing over poop where it doesn't, or spraying pouring bleach over poop where it don't smell that bad as the poop without bleach. You feel me? It's trying to cover up the stench. That's what they're doing. That's what they are doing by dog piling immigrants over us and put them in our stat. Okay, our racial stats. You're pouring bleach on dog poop. You're spraying disinfection spray on dog poop. You're trying to hide the damage that was done to us, our broken state. Okay, so give me a second. Let me switch. time to switch. Where is the phone from? Okay, I got it. It's not a switch. Give me a second. Make sure you like the video. Thank you for the super chats. The Cash App is right there, beautiful in gold and red. By Ron. Subscribe, notification bell. This is going to be a good one right here. This is going to be one for. This is going to be. This is. Now somebody sent me a picture. Cause my son's with my brother, and he's with his cousin. They had like a little. He sent me pictures of them playing and stuff. That's funny. All right. So where are we? Oh, let me go ahead and switch to my phone, and then we're gonna get this thing going. Okay, cool. I got it. Okay. People are messy. All right, give me a second to switch. It would make it work. It would. It would make the process harder. 8589220. Blah 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 blah. All right, we're switching over now. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we have fully switched over. Now let me share my screen and let's get right back to it. Make sure I select the audio. Oh, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. Select it. Okay, cool. We're back in there like swimwear.
Phenomenal thing.
That's like
thing.
that's a
Wait. Let me turn my Bluetooth on so I can my headset to talk. Tooth back on. Right there. Okay, Bluetooth connected. Let's get it back.
that's like a false equivalency. That has nothing to do with the question.
It is. You said, what do we get out of it? Yeah, we
That's
get
your-
the comfort of knowing. We
That's
get
your
the comfort of
baseline
knowing
is not
that
being deported.
we
That's all.
can't,
That's
we can't get we got the comfort of knowing we can't get deported. We got the comfort of knowing that our culture is the culture of this land. We are the progenitors of the culture, and we're going to be the gatekeepers of the culture. That's what we get out of it.
you guys
We
can't
get the
gatekeep anything. You can't even gatekeep the
Yes, we do.
NBA.
Yes, we do. And we get to relish in a culture
You
that
got-
our families made for us,
You
sir.
guys have never been able to
we
gatekeep
get to, no,
anything.
listen, I'm telling you. No. I'm telling you. You asked me what we get, and I'm telling you now you get offended.
Who's offended?
Because your lineage.
So family, what I'm gonna do is all these clips where they ask, it appears a sincere question, and then when Tariq Nasheed is not trolling, he's answering with no jokes. Look at the undermining. You guys can't gatekeep anything. You see? So this is what they do normally. This is when they get roasted. And then Tethers and Pan-Africans will call up here and say, Tariq be petty. He said, no, he be serious. And you guys normally start the jokes, the disrespect.
Is a lineage of fleeing, sir. Just say that. And you have a problem with us because we didn't flee. Say
I don't
that.
have a problem with that. My problem is that you're setting it up like it's
Now,
like
that's
you're better than
you're
people because
imagining
you're
stuff.
FBA.
I'm not setting up anything. I'm not setting up anything,
You know?
sir. We're
It's a
just glad that we're paying homage to our ancestors who sacrificed and made a way so that we can be comfortable here in our homeland and not have to flee. I thank our ancestors for that. And you have a problem with that, sir. That's
no.
a you
I don't
problem.
have a
Don't put
problem
all
with
that
that.
on me.
I don't have a
You
problem with that.
clearly
My
do.
problem with that is that does that make it better for you? Because that's to
Yeah,
say
it
that you can't
does.
get deported is such a low bar.
That you can't determine
That
what
is the
makes it what I
lowest
feel is
bar.
better. You can't judge what I like. I like the fact that I ain't getting rounded up and my family sacrificed for me so I can be comfortable on my homeland. I like it. You can't determine what I should like, sir.
Let me
And you like being up here under us too.
let me ask you a
You should be
question.
happy that my ancestors and us helped make a way for you to come here and be comfortable, sir.
Let me ask you a
You're happy because
question.
you're here. You're happy because you're here, sir. You're happy because of what I'm happy for. You're happy because of my ancestors too. That's why you're here, sir. So don't have all of that disrespectful disposition, sir.
Why is it disrespectful? Because I'm
Yeah, you
challenging
talking
the
about,
fact that
yeah,
you're a race
what
hustler.
y'all looking, why y'all on y'all lineage, why y'all delineating. We're paying homage and respect to our lineage, sir. Why? What y'all gonna get out of that? Well, the same thing you're getting, comfort.
What is it? So that's what it is. It's about like an emotional blanket of some sort.
Ain't emotion at all. That's you projecting,
Because
sir.
it's appealing to emotion right now. You talk
It's
about
not.
tangibles. That was your big thing, was tangibles, right?
My big thing is respect.
Now it's respect. So it's gone from
It's always been respect.
tangibles to respect. Because for a minute there, you were like on the tangibles thing. I was like 2017, 2018. You was like, we want tangibles. Now it's more like ethereal. Now is that correct? It's not
We
a
can walk and guess what we can do? We can walk and chew gum at the same time, sir.
because I've just noticed that it's kind of evolved over time. It's not it's no more about being tangible.
You know what you're doing? You just throwing shit on the wall.
What are you
You're
talking
venting
about?
right now.
What are you talking
You
about?
just throwing. You're not. Nothing you saying is making sense.
I've
You
been
just
following
throwing
you
shit on the wall.
many.
You
I got
just
all
say you're
I got all
okay.
your movies, man.
I know that, but what you're doing is throwing shit on the wall out of frustration.
No, come on now.
Because no. Because us delineating don't equal hate. We ain't hate nobody.
The term
Y'all
tethers is
want
not
us.
a hateful
Y'all
term.
want us. No, and it's not. It's an accountability term.
The
You
term
shouldn't be a
tethers is
damn tether.
it's dehumanizing, Tariq.
No, it's not dehumanizing. You don't come
It
over here and do
is.
tether shit. You
It
don't
is
do tether shit.
dehumanizing.
You don't. No. Y'all hate accountability. Don't come over and do tether stuff, and you won't be called a tether. That's how that works. Tether is an action thing. It's not dehumanizing. You know what's dehumanizing? A kata. A kata is dehumanizing. That's literally calling us a damn wild animal. Y'all never say anything about that. Calling us beads and jareers and all of these other terms these non-FBAs do. That's dehumanizing. All we're saying is y'all don't come around us trying to undermine us. Because we ain't going to nobody's countries doing anything to them. Y'all come over here with that bullshit and you hate being held accountable, sir. So just say that. Don't project all that weird stuff onto me, Mr. Randy. Rundy, whatever your name is. So yeah, don't have all that vitriol towards us. Because we ain't doing nothing to you. Just because we delineate, that don't mean we can't kick it. That's why the Tethers was so mad when I was over in Africa, because that killed their whole argument. That destroyed their whole argument. I went over to Africa, bonding and kicking it with the people, but I was standing on FBA business though. And that really burned their ass because the narrative is if we stand on FBA business, we're supposed to hate everybody. No, that's a tether projection. We support all of their stuff and we're supporting our lineage too. And we ain't got no problem kicking it with Africans. I went over to Africa and had a ball as a foundational Black American. See how that works? Unmute your microphone, sir. I don't have you muted. I don't know what's going on.
I tried to. It got me back up. No, see, here's the thing, man. I've been rocking with you for more than a decade. You know,
Yeah.
so it's not about me trying to come in here and say that you're a bad guy because philosophically, I believe in a lot of the things that you say because if it wasn't for
I have not
you,
done nothing
Todd
bad to
Boyd,
nobody.
I wouldn't have gotten to done my own thing and left, the corporate America. So I credit a lot of what you're doing for where I've gone and the things I've done. But I'm just saying the tether thing to me was dehumanizing, and I don't think that it helps. I just think that it's kind of like, yeah, sure, you can post yourself up and give yourself that, give yourself
Let
the
me
big
tell
up
you
that you
something, bro.
deserve, because
we ain't sitting here absorbing hateful ass people coming over here from these places. We ain't those days are over. Y'all done sent over the Myron Gaines, the Byron Donalds, the Candace Owens, all of these people who have just vitriolic rage towards us, and we just had enough, and we had to clean house. That's what it is. So some feelings might get hurt, but that's just the new norm now, man. And ain't nobody beating up on nobody, but yeah, y'all sent too many riffraffs over here to us, and we're just not going to let people abuse us indefinitely. Those days are over. Everybody's going to be held accountable. I'm assuming your people are from what part of Africa? I was going to think Caribbean, but what part of Africa is your family from?
You talking to me?
Yes, sir.
My father is Nigerian. The big
Right.
boogeyman, the big Nigerians.
Okay. Where's your mother from?
I'm mixed race.
Okay, your mother's white, right?
Yes.
British? Is she British?
It's like it's like Polish, Ukrainian, kind of that.
Got it. Okay, so yeah, you're very familiar with the term Akata, all right?
Well, I mean, that's not something that I heard until I started, tapping in with you, actually, to be honest with you. And I grew up in a Nigerian community, so that's not something that's just used really often. I swear to God. The other thing is Akata it's a Yoruba word. My people aren't Yoruba, so we wouldn't be throwing out slangs from another, another ethnic group.
Y'all always say that. I've heard people all in Senegal use it, people down in Gambia use it.
I'm not
people
denying
all up
people
and
don't
down
use it.
West-
I'm just saying that wasn't something that me or anyone I know used.
Igbo say it. No, come see. All right, man. All right, thank you, Randy. See, this is what I'm saying. They never want to be accountable. They start splaining and lying. God, I mean, it's a Yoruba word I may have heard. I just recently heard where that right there is why we got to do the check-in, because y'all sit here splaining for each other. That right there is why you a musty damn tether. Yep, we calling tethers out. Yep, because y'all sit here playing games. I ain't playing games with y'all ass. Y'all like to play games. Y'all know what a tether, y'all whining about tether. Oh, that's dehumanizing. Y'all call us a goddamn wild cat. A wild cat who ain't got no home. Literally calling us an animal. Who they said what? I mean, I'm kind of familiar with the term, but I'm from a different tribe. You understand me? Stop it. I ain't trying to hear none of that. They never hear the janky stuff that's said about us by their own people. They all act dumb, like they don't know nothing. But somebody check them for disrespecting. Now they want to do 20 damn spaces whining nonstop. These niggas called me a dada. They called me a musty dada. They said that my flip-flops were dirty. They said I smell like bushmeat. You hit the xenophobic. Shut up. Y'all hear everything we do. You notice that? Well, I've been following you for 10 years. Well, 7 years ago, you said tangibles. 8 years ago, you were talking about the motherland. 9 years. Y'all got a dossier on everything we do, but nothing about y'all calling us Akatas. You don't know nothing. Everything we say, y'all got a record of all of it. Y'all got time, dates, clips, book clippings, newspaper clippings. But hey, what about Akata? What about all that Akata talk? Huh? What? I'm not familiar. I've looked and I've not found nothing. I don't know. I've never had that word. How do you spell it? Akata. Okay. I have to look and see. I don't know. Stop it. Like y'all don't know your fellow tether Myron Gaines, who dehumanizes us all the time. Notice they don't say nothing about him. They don't say nothing about these people.
Hey, family, he gave me a good idea. The next time a tether call in here and ask what is a tether, I'm gonna play like I never heard the word before. Like, what's that? I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna play stupid. I'm gonna act like I never heard of tether before when they call it. I don't know. I'm like, what's that? I don't know. Like, what is it? I never heard that word before. I'm gonna play dumb as hell.
Who denigrate us? They don't say nothing. And if they do say something, they make excuses for them. Just like with Shabuzi. They've been making excuses for Shabuzi ever since he made that little janky ass speech. They don't have no accountability, man. None. They've been getting a pass for a long time, ladies and gentlemen. They've been getting a pass. Now that we are not letting them get a pass with all the BS, hey, wait, what is this? What is this? We're just defending ourselves from hostility. That ain't xenophobia. Excuse me, guys. My wife over here sweeping and dust all in my damn nose. Excuse me, guys. Oh, man. Oh, excuse me. Who are these people, man? It's just...
This skin is beautiful, right?
Hello,
Hassan.
How you doing, man?
How you doing?
I'm good. I battled you the other
No. We're not doing that.
day.
Yeah, so you consider that baby, the baby raised in Jamaica with a Jamaican passport and everything. When you go to the USA and there was a robbery, and he get deported with the other Jamaicans, right? That's deportation, but they're looking out for to get his American citizen by lineage or something like that. So
Dude, I'm so
they can go
confused.
back. How about that? That's still deportation.
I don't know what the hell you just said, brother. I'm very confused by that scenario.
I'm saying, like, back in the 80s or 90s, right? Somebody.
What kind of scenario? Wait, slow down, man. Because what kind of scenario was that? I couldn't even follow that line of logic. So if somebody went to Jamaica, had a baby, and they came over and they committed a robbery with the baby.
For example, let me use you as an example. Like you have a Jamaican woman, right?
What?
You have a Jamaican woman, right? No, I'm saying, for example, you have a Jamaican woman, you pregnant her in Jamaica, she have a baby in Jamaica, and that baby eventually, earlier you said once you have a parent that is Black American, you technically FBA, right?
If you're born here, yeah. If you're born here on FBA on American soil, yeah.
So if you have a baby outside the USA, that baby is not Black American.
Yeah, it's going to have Black American lineage, yeah.
Have Black American lineage. So you consider that baby FBA too, right?
It will have foundation Black American lineage, but if that baby is born in Jamaica to a Jamaican woman, that baby the baby would have to immigrate here, right?
Yeah, the baby can have dual citizenship, but the thing is, I'm saying that, do you consider that baby FBA?
It depends on where the child is born and the citizenship of the child.
The child born in Jamaica.
What makes you What makes you foundational Black American is the continuity. You know what I'm saying? It's just the continuity. Your family is here and you stayed here. You were born here. There's a continuity here. You understand?
Yeah.
Now, are you planning on having an anchor baby? Is that what you're trying to get to? You're trying to have you a Jamaican anchor baby to claim FBA?
No, I never said that. I'm saying what I'm trying to get to is that back in the day they have that happen and the person go to the USA and end up get deported before they're trying to get him back to the USA by get his citizenship by parent, by lineage.
Okay.
So
now wait, I got somebody on the phone for you.
Earlier, like 30 minutes ago, you said they cannot get deported. So that's still deportation.
No, okay, okay. Well, look, I got somebody on the phone for you. I found your baby. I found you got a Jamaican baby and he's half FBA and he's stuck in Jamaica. All right. So I got him. Hold on. His name is Trevor. Hold on. Hey Trevor, hop on.
Bumba Clyde, is this my papa? Daddy? Why did you leave me? Bumba Clyde, why did you blood?
That's some
Bumba
Yeah. Yeah.
man.
No, your
No,
blood
man.
clot left me. You left me in the ghetto.
No,
Bumba
yeah,
clot.
Batman, man. I wish Batman does.
Your bumba clot left me, nigga. Come get me, nigga. Bring me back. I'm tired of eating.
You're changing your voice, or is a Batman? Which one?
No, bumba clot, Papa, come get me. I'm tired of eating bammy and jerk
Jamaican
chicken.
don't sound like that. Jamaican sound rough.
No, Bumba. I'm tired of eating bammy and bush meat. Come get me, nigga.
Jamaican don't eat bush meat. Jamaican don't eat bush meat.
Why did you
Let's do this comedian here.
leave me, nigga? I'm stuck over here. I'm musty with flip flops.
Jamaican do not really say nigga. What are you talking about?
I'm gonna get an inner tube and go over there, nigga. I'm going to come back. You gotta come get me.
Hey, what Jamaican he said don't say nigga? That's maybe not in Jamaica. In America, New York, New Jersey, that's all they say. Math half is one of y'all. You got talking about. That's all y'all say is y'all say the N word more than anybody, man.
Yeah. All right, Black American. All right, Black American trying to be Jamaican. Good job.
No, Papa, you left me over here with no food, nigga. Come get me. Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that was it. All right. All right.
Yeah, that was funny as hell. Yeah. This dude is a nut.
That person need a better training, man. That person need a better training how to speak Jamaican, man. He said nigga. Jamaican barely say nigga. Jamaican, you need to train him more. You need to go to the school again to learn Jamaican.
There you go. All right, brother. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you need to go back to.
All right, shut up. Lord.
Yeah, he was upset that baby's talking in his language.
The hell. With that old convoluted ass scenario. Okay, what if, because he tried to get that lie off that a Black American got deported. No, that dude, I know what he's talking. They love to try to bring that case up. That was the Jamaican dude. That dude wasn't FBA at all. He wasn't. So they always trying to find some little backdoor way to get in the lineage. Okay, hold on, Bumba Clyde. What if you go to Jamaica, you have a baby with a woman, and the baby is on an inner tube, and then you come back, and then they rob a bank, and then they all get deported, and then the baby goes to Guantanamo Bay? Is that baby FBA?
Get it, Alcatraz.
Dude, I can't even follow one of these old convoluted ass, far-fetched, irrational scenarios that you're trying to twist yourself up into the damn lineage. I don't know what you talk. Y'all ain't FBA, man. Damn. Everybody twisting themselves into damn knots to try to make themselves FBA now. You're just not. You're not, and that's okay. That's okay. Good grief. Let me get Sister Brooke. Let's get Sister Brooke in here. Hold on. Let me get my good sister in here. Facts. Where's Brother Do? I want to follow, just in case I'm not. Y'all didn't see this dude. Okay.
All right. Let's get to it. Okay. So Negro History Week, right? 1926 by Dr. Carter G. Woodson, founder of the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History Okay, I used to have his book, The Miseducation of the Negro. Found okay. So the purpose was specific, right? Of Negro Week. The purpose was specific. It was to highlight the achievements of American Negroes, not American Tethers, not American Caribbeans, not American Africans, American Negroes, to connect distorted American history, not to connect distorted African history, to counter racist textbooks, okay, to prove Black Americans contributed to the United States. And this is, okay, so we're not talking about nobody but foundational Black Americans. Let's go on. So Woodson was addressing a US specific problem. Black Americans were being erased from American national history, not Africans. This was about slavery in America. It was about Reconstruction in America, Civil War contributions in America, inventions in America, politics in America, military service in America, and arts and literature in America. Okay? It was not framed as a global African history project at all. Okay, Woodson repeatedly focused on the Negro in American history, contributions to American civilization, the role of African Americans in building the nation, foundational Black Americans in building the nation. Now, his goal was integration into American historical memory, not Pan-African cultural unity. All right. He wanted schools to teach American history accurately. He wanted schools to recognize, or he wanted the recognition of Black Americans as co-builders of America, literally foundational Black Americans. He wanted the recognition of Black Americans as co-builders of America. At that time, during the 1920s, African immigration to the U.S. was very, very, very minimal. Caribbean immigration was limited, but present. The focus was clearly American Negro history, nothing to do with an immigrant. Okay. And it was because the social problem was US specific. Jim Crow, segregation, textbook racism, scientific racism, erasure from civic narrative. Negro History Week was a tool to fight American racial caste ideology. It was not originally designed as African Continental History Month, Caribbean Diaspora History Month, Global Black History Celebration. All right. It was an American corrective movement. It's sad we got to actually read this to people. 1976, family. 50 years later. What happened? What happened 50 years later? Anybody know? 50 years later, Negro History Week became Black History Month. 1976. 50 years later, Negro History Week became Black History Month during the U.S. bicentennial, okay? During the 1970s, during the 1960s and 70s, Black Power movement was going on. You had fragments of Pan-Africanism. You had people talking that global Black solidarity stuff, right? The term black, okay? The term black broadened the frame beyond American Negro. A little more respect on it, you know what I mean? A little more, we evolved. We 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 evolved. Okay. So don't forget, it was all about American Negro, Black American. So we say Black history to qualify Black American history. All right. Okay. Let me see. Black history was intended for Black Americans specifically. Okay. So it was a history grounded argument that would be, okay. So Negro History Week was created to correct American historical erasure. All right. It became focused on enslavement in America, Reconstruction, American inventions, American civil rights struggle. And watch this. The social injury Woodson was addressing was American anti-Black racism, only in America, American textbook distortions. Therefore, the primary historical focus was Black Americans' 400-year contribution to America. Oh, that's a big surprise, right? No. Um, that is historically defensible, right? We could defend that easily. No problema. So what happened? So family, if it was that cutthroat, what happened? Where's the plot twist? Where are the informants? Where are the agents? Provocateurs. Okay, so what happened, family, is that there end up being two realities at once. Black Americans built a distinct American culture over 400 years. Blues, jazz, hip hop, soul food, civil rights movement, Reconstruction politics, many service in U.S. wars. So, sometime later, uh, a few few Caribbeans and Africans were trying to contribute to our history and did. Okay. Um, Let me see. So, Negro History Week. Let's go back. Negro History Week was created to document and defend the specific historical experience of Black Americans under U.S. chattel slavery and segregation. While all people can appreciate the month, the historical core is rooted in the 400-year American experience. I mean, we know that. It's that simple. Real simple. So that keeps it historical, but not ethnic hostility. Okay, that's their framing. What he did not frame it as Global Black History Month. He did not frame it as all people of African descent, regardless of national history. He didn't say that. Um, Black American history and African diaspora history are connected a little bit because we got some shared experiences. Right? Let's go. Shoot. So when people feel culture under attack, um, it often stems from what people fear of dilution, fear of historical erasure, fear of losing specific lineages, recognition. or lineage recognition. The concern can be framed without attacking immigrants, and we don't. But some of us are in the oh, skip the line. So Black History Month should center specifically the descendants of American slavery, because that is the historical foundation it was built upon. Okay. Negro History Week 1926, remember? Created to highlight Black Americans' contributions to U.S. history, designed to correct American racial erasure. Focus on the American Negro experience. Okay, so all right. So let's start right there. Start right there. Yeah, we're gonna definitely do 2 parts of this early in the morning, and we're gonna do like maybe another video. Yeah, that time went by super duper quick. That is crazy. I just looked up, seen the time, like, are you serious? Oh, what am I doing? All right, give me a second. Give me a second, family. Just looking for the video. Video's interesting, family. When you go back and watch some of the dialogues on Tariq Nasheed Radio, I got a good memory and I'm a pattern recognizer. So I said, wait a minute, I think there's a pattern here that we can spot. Okay, so that was not the playlist. This is the playlist. I'll play that one later. Okay, that's all the funny stuff. Let's get down and dirty. About right over here somewhere. Let's start right here. Shit.
You committed a traffic violation at Orange and Washington.
But you can't pull over somebody who's parked.
Damn, yeah, she couldn't even. No, that's not what I want. I hate that, man.
In the wilds of America.
In the heart of LA.
Damn, man, I just had the clip. Here we go. I can't fast forward without.
Hello?
What's up, Ammo?
This is Arno.
Oh, okay, my bad. My eyes are bad, so I'm getting old. Arno, what's going on with you, Arno?
Yeah, nothing much. Tariq, I just want to say that the Mojara spirit, I believe you all got that from Africa, as we are all connected. You spoke specifically on the dancing, and I would argue that that's a lot of Africans use that. We Africans use that a lot. Dance a lot.
What? You use what? You use what? I missed that. You use what?
We dance a lot. I think it's in our genetics. So you as foundational Black Americans have a connection to Africa by dancing. I believe that we're all connected throughout the diaspora.
Yeah, but we've had an ethnogenesis here that's a little bit different. You dig? And our spiritual essence is a little bit different. And we've absorbed more things, and that's built up spiritual strength that's unique outside of Africa. You see?
How would you all say you're so different then? What's so different about Black Americans?
Man, so many things. The way we deal with systematic oppression, the way we prepare our foods, the way we sing.
Our
And people
food
are,
singing
yeah,
are quite similar.
who's the Beyonce over in Africa right now?
Well, Beyonce is of African descent, so we can claim her.
Everybody on the planet is of African descent, sir.
Well, recent African ancestry.
Not really.
Well,
Not recent. No, we are not recent.
on the
We ain't
grand
been over. We ain't been there in 500 years, sir. That's not recent.
well, on the grand scheme of human nature, it is recent, especially since you brought up everyone being from Africa. That's definitely not recent, but 500 years on the scale of that is recent.
Nah, not really. A lot can change in 500 years. You
Which is
see?
very
Yeah,
true.
500 years before. Look, 500 years ago, there was no such thing as a Puerto Rican race or Mexican race or Hispanic race. Certain races didn't even exist 500 years ago. You see?
That's very true, but I think we could all agree that they are descendants of some of the races that did exist 500 years ago. So, in essence, you all are Africans.
Well, the thing is, well, we're not continental Africans. We're not Africans. We have African genetics, but we've had an ethnogenesis. Why is it that our ethnogenesis can't be respected, but other people's ethnogenesis can be respected and acknowledged?
Well, what ethnogenesis of other people are you talking about? Because I respect all
Um,
ethnogenesis.
because Jamaicans, y'all don't tell Jamaicans that they're African. You acknowledge that they're Jamaicans. You don't tell Haitians that they're African. You acknowledge the ethnogenesis that they've had and they're Haitian. You definitely don't do it to Brazilians. You don't call them African, even though most of the Africans that were brought from the continent were put in Brazil. But they're not Brazil. Well, they're not calling themselves African. They're Brazilian. And people respect their ethnogenesis. They have a unique culture that is Brazilian. But when it comes to foundational Black Americans, our culture is extremely unique, unlike any other culture. But we're told by you, Arno, and others that we're just generic Africans. Why is that?
Well, first, I would like to go back and talk about how we don't say that about other cultures because they don't deny their Africanness. Black Americans love to deny their Africanness and claim that they're not African. They love to
Well,
deny
y'all
everything
claim
about Africa.
you guys were the ones who called us Akatas. Y'all told us we weren't African. Y'all tell us that all the time, and then y'all tell us that we aren't the same. Well, it's not, I'm not Black, I'm Nigerian. I'm not Black, I'm Ghanaian. Y'all say that type of stuff, sir. We're not making that up. You guys delineated from us, especially when you get something positive going. Don't let you win something. You make sure your Nigerianness is going to be front and center. You understand?
Yeah, I understand, but first, the word Akata is a Nigerian word, but dig a little bit deeper into understanding why
I've heard
we actually say
Ghanaians
that.
use that word. I've heard Senegalese use that word. Y'all not just gonna put it on Nigeria. They use that word up and down West Africa, sir. And it's always derogatory. Brother McCall, can you hop in, please?
Great ministers. How art thou?
I'm so good, brother. How are you, Brother McCall?
Excellent there, brother. Living the dream and winning.
Yes, indeed. We got Arno here.
Anyway, I want y'all to pay attention to the dialogues at this time. This is months ago. Like I said, when you look at the current topic now, like what's going on with the current events with Tethers and us, and you go back 8, 9, 10 months ago, you start catching videos like this.
McCall?
We have on. Do you mind if I speak with Arnold, sir?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Yes, I appreciate it. Mr. Arnold, how are you?
Good, Mikhail. How are you, sir?
Excellent there, brother. How's your family doing?
Everything's going well.
Beautiful. Everybody's safe.
Yes, safe here in the United States.
That's a different type of safe. What about in your homeland? Is everyone good?
We're all good here in the United States, Macau.
Okay. I'm sharp enough to get your point, sir. The difference, foundation is, and I'm very familiar with Africa. In fact, I'm here right now, and I do know the difference between an Ethiopian and a Somalian.
Beautiful. What part
Between
of
an
Africa, may I
Eritrean,
ask?
hold on. Between an Eritrean and a Kenyan, between a Kenyan and a Ugandan, between a Ugandan and a Nigerian. I know the difference, and it's blatant. What we are, essentially, from my study and from my awareness, we are a continuum of, and I say this with humbleness, of the people who are source people, the primordial people that have the intelligence and the vision given to them from the source. We are the closest continuum to the great Anu, Kush, and Kemet. We are those people. We are people of the future. We are visionaries. We are constantly evolving. We are very enlightened people. The frequency in terms of music that we create from is completely different from the frequencies and the scales and the harmonics of the music that's created on the continent. We perceive life different. When we're children, our parents tell us we can conquer the world. There's nothing you can and cannot do. We're different. Accept the difference. We accept you as different, right? Accept who we are. And we're still evolving. And where we're going, you cannot go. You understand? So I just wanted to give you that and thank you for this respectful dialogue. And I appreciate you, and take good care of yourself. And Brother Tariq, thank you for the masterclass, and keep that jab in the face. Love you, dear brother.
Much respect to you. Thank you so much.
Thank
ahead,
you.
Arnold.
Thank you, Brother Macau, for being respectful this time. I very deeply
Man,
appreciate you,
we're
sir.
always
Now, I want to unpack a
sensible
little bit
and
about what you
mannerable.
said, Tariq, about how we try to differentiate ourselves between Americans. Well, the reason why a lot of other melanated people around the world don't call themselves black is because, well, that's your ethnicity. See, we know we're all in the same race, and that's exactly why I'm saying you all are African people. We've never denied you being African people. We just say we're not black, speaking specifically on the ethnic group in the United States. We're not denying our Negro race. You see?
Okay. Well, here's the thing, but we're different because look, there's no African nation that protects us or gives us sanctuary or anything. So we can't claim something that doesn't claim us. No African nation claims us. Even the African Union, they don't even include us, which is cool. If you're not going to claim us, don't expect us to claim you. We're protected by each other over here. We don't have any tribal affiliations. No tribe over there. It's like, oh, those are my niggas. None. So yeah, we don't have any immediate affiliations over there unless we go over there with a bag. And that's the thing. And that turns into a finesse thing. Let me get Brother Daniel in here, aka Kanye. He's going to speak to you, Arnold. Brother Dan, what's up, fam? Brother Dan, what's up, fam? All right, we'll get him up. Let's get Great Black Shark in here.
Salute to you, Brother Tariq, and shout out to Brother Mikhail. How's it going with you, black man?
Everything is good, brother. We got Arnold here. Speak to Arnold, brother Great Black.
Absolutely. Salute to you, Brother Arnold, and in the tradition of being respectful, since you have shown us the same respect, which is what we always do. I'm going to put out what Brother Tariq and our Brother Mikhail were saying, okay? We are a different people as far as our culture and our entertainment, because as Brother Tariq was asking you to name who the Beyonce is, I'm going to add a couple of more names to that. Name the continental African version of a Michael Jackson that can have people standing, screaming, and crying, not just here in America at his very presence, just standing still for 10 minutes. Internationally, that has happened in China, that has happened in Europe, that has happened around the world. There's a couple of more names, just as far as the artistry and the ability to touch a person's spirit. When we name people like Anita Baker, Luther Vandross, okay? You can even go on Frankie Beverly and Mays. I'll be here naming all night. Even the people that hate our guts love our music. They are touched to the bottom of their spirits, to the point where if they're getting married or they're thinking about anniversaries, they refer to our great artists. So respectfully, I have to ask you, where is the continental African version of those artists that I've named? And see, if we were the same people, you would have the same spirit and the same ability to touch our people just like those artists I named. But that's it, I'll land.
Thank you. Go ahead, Arno.
Yeah, I would say we can't really pull someone on the same equivalents in Africa compared to Michael Jackson because, well, as we all know, America is the main character nation, really. So, of course, all other nations are going to be overshadowed by their specific talent. But as you can see now, the tides are turning now that Africa is receiving the shine that it rightfully deserves. We see our good brother Burna Boy.
Go ahead. I'm not trying to laugh at you, but go ahead.
Burna Boy, and we have lots of other artists coming up too. Also, a lot of our melanated family from the Caribbean are also coming up, like Skilly Bing. He's really making a really good impact on the music scene, and we've got a couple of other people. Skilly Bing.
Who the hell is Skilly? Who's Skilly Bean?
Well, he's a rapper, artist kind of guy. He's making it pop.
Okay.
I bet a lot of the sisters in here know exactly who I'm talking about. They love Skilly Bean. He makes great music. Yeah, so of course we can't really have an equivalence to Michael Jackson because the world spotlight is on the United States. So everybody else is really left off in the shadows.
But hell, can you get an equivalent to Freddie Jackson? I mean, somebody.
Probably not, but I'm sure there are plenty of people on the continent that look just like him.
Do they sound like him though?
I'm sure they do.
My brother Dan Hopkins, sir.
What's going on, Tariq? How you doing, Arnold? It's good to see you being respectful today.
Hey, what's going on, brother Kanye, brother Daniel? Good.
All right, cool. So this is I say this all the time, and it's starting to become like a thing. So let me ask you something. Do you look at, where you from again? I'm sorry. What's the name of the country again? I'm sorry.
Arnold, you're from where?
Equatorial
Niger,
Guinea. I'm not
Guinea.
from there. I'm
Equatorial
from the United
Guinea.
States,
but I have roots there.
Gotcha. Right. But there are many countries in Africa who don't even consider themselves the same people. You know that, right?
Well, of course, not the same people culturally, but we all know we're in the same race.
Yeah. They say they're different people altogether. Even you would take a look at the European nations, right? The French don't consider themselves British. And neither one of those consider themselves Russian. And they're right next to each other. And as Flex pointed out earlier, the Puerto Ricans, the Cubans, all those people, these are relatively new races. And our ethnic group predates them. So it just seems, it seems to me that it's fine when you guys want to attach onto our accomplishments and you guys get pissed when we don't allow that to happen. I mean, if you say that you have the equivalent to Michael Jackson, the equivalent to all our rappers, then what do you need us for then? Because we're not saying we have an equivalent to Burna Boy. That has never came out of anybody's mouth. We never said that. there are rappers in the UK. You got guys like Nines and Skepta and shit like that. You have never heard a Black American say, "Yo, we have the equivalent to them." We don't do that. We gotta focus on what we got going on, and I think the rest of the world should do the same. I just don't understand what's so hard about saying, you know what, they look like us, but they're not us. Because again, like Flex pointed out, I mean, I just seen a nigga win the third grade spelling bee and stand up and thank St. Lucia. I mean, nigga was educated in the American system his whole life, but for some reason, St. Lucia helped him win that spelling bee. So shout out to them for that. So all we're saying is, if you with you guys, we're different. You don't get to claim all our wins and shun our losses, and then take your losses and pile them on top of ours. It don't work like that. You understand the conflict, right?
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but I just want to elaborate a little bit on how you all say you're not African when the DNA proves that you all are. I believe even if there are some Africans that say, "Oh, you all are not," say that they're not black, they never say that you all aren't African. Even if
Let
you
me
go
ask
to
you
the
something, right?
continent of Africa.
What is everybody's origin on this planet?
I'm sorry?
What is everybody's origin on this planet?
I can understand you.
So what is everybody's origin on this planet?
Oh, everybody's origin is from Africa, but we're talking about recent, on the
So,
grand
but
scheme of things, recent African.
but check this out, right? Check this out. So, Alexander the Great, he said the cradle of life is in Africa. This was ancient Greek, Macedonian times. So everybody comes from that place. However, you wouldn't look a European in the eyes and say, "Hey, you guys are African," would you?
No, never, because they don't have any real
But they're
recent African
alive.
ancestry.
But I'm just saying, but like you would refer to them as the continent they were born on, right?
I would approach him by the race that he's in. So it's very obvious they don't have any recent African ancestry. They don't even look like any African at all.
Yeah, but that's my point. Like we're from America. We have American history. Now, yes, our origins may have started in Africa like everybody else did. However, we are no longer that. Just like I wouldn't call a Spanish person or a Puerto Rican person a Spaniard. Would you call a Puerto Rican person a Spaniard?
I would say that they have Spanish ancestry, but it's a lot different with them. They're a
But
lot more advanced
you
than
wouldn't
Black
refer to him as
Americans.
a Spaniard, right?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay, you wouldn't refer to a Mexican as a Spaniard. You would call him a Mexican, correct?
Very true. It's because they have a very distinct look, though.
See, see, this is where it gets hypocritical because Spain conquered those lands. Spain colonized those lands. Spain took that language they had and they gave it to them. Spain had citizens come over from Spain and impregnate those kids, and they grew up, and now their new genesis called Mexican or Hispanic. Now you have the Spaniards who don't go by that. And I will argue that they're a lot closer to Spain than we are to Africa. Have you seen Canelo Alvarez?
Yes, I've seen him.
If he doesn't open his mouth, he's considered a white man.
Very true, but it's very few and far in between white people that look like him in Mexico.
Yeah,
They're not the majority. Most of them look mestizo.
yeah,
He's
but the overall
Castillo
point
or
is
whatever.
you wouldn't even call them Spaniards, right?
I would just call him a white man if I didn't know anything about him.
Hmm. Yeah, and what language did we break over from Africa?
What language?
Yes, sir.
No language. You all lost your language.
So we had our own language.
It was given to you, the English language.
No.
Are
We
you
speak a
all
different
European?
version of it. You know that.
Not really.
See, this is where it gets
You speak
disingenuous.
the American version of English. It is slightly different from the British version, but it's not like a completely different
No,
language.
I mean culturally, Black Americans speak a different language. I mean, it's similar, but we have different slang and different twists we put on the words. Very different from what they speak in England, correct?
Very true, because of cultural difference.
Yeah,
Yes.
the same with the Spaniards that you refer to as Mexican.
Yeah, that's true too. Yes.
Cool. So when we say that we're not the same as continental Africans, that's what we're talking about.
Oh, so you're just basically going off culture.
I'm going off everything.
Well, not looks wise.
Yeah, I think we're done here, man. Appreciate the flex.
Thank you so much, brother.
Wait a minute, brother. Whoa. Not looks wise, brother Kanye. Hold on.
Bro, are you okay? You seen our hairlines?
Brother Kanye, you look Nigerian, my good brother.
Is that right?
Very, very true. Yes, you look Nigerian.
Right on. Right on. My grandmother's full blood Choctaw from Mississippi. Greenwood to be exact.
Right. Choctaw. Okay.
I mean, I can
Well,
prove it. I mean, I'm not just saying this.
I'm sure you can, brother Kanye. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
there's a difference, but appreciate the flex, man.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, they're black Choctaw. I mean, this is not anything we're making up. They're jet black Choctaws, places like Alabama. Yeah, we have that, brother. Let's get EJ in here. EJ?
Hey, brother Tariq, how you doing tonight, player?
I'm good, EJ. How are you?
I'm doing good. We had something called ethnogenesis. We're not the same group of people anymore. In 500 years, 100 times 5 is 500. We done had 5 centuries of evolution and beyond that. So we're not the same group of people as the Africans are anymore. So the delineation process is much needed right now in the United States of America. And Africans do need to delineate from other Africans who don't want to do anything for them. Caribbeans need to delineate for Caribbeans who want to be under white supremacy. And I suggest that, this brother right here, do some walking around and just make sure that he can get on code with his people in his homeland. And Africans from all different parts of the continent have used the word Akata. They have used derogatory names for Black Americans. And we're at a point right now that we can't, save these people. I do want Africa to be great one day, but we got to have our own thing that we're doing in America. And I'm just going to say this. Everybody should hold their own nuts. You won't see a Chinese person trying to be Japanese or a Japanese person trying to be Chinese. They have their own history and they have their own different cultures and they stick to what they do. Black Americans, we need to stick to what we do. Africans need to stick to what they do. And everybody holds their own damn nuts. So we really need to stop explaining stuff to some of these people. It's been said over and over and over again. Only a small percentage of Africans came to America. We were already here. We just mixed in with those people. I don't deny that. But over time, we are a distinct group. We have our own lineage. And I suggest that everybody hold their own nuts. And that's all I really got to say. Because if I said something a little bit more disrespectful, you probably have to kick me down and take away my bamboo stick. But thank you, Tariq, for letting me talk. I'm going back to sleep.
There you go. Thank you so much.
Yeah, he made a very good point about that. I agree that Black Americans definitely have some admixture, but it doesn't make you look that much different looking than, Africans at all.
Yeah. We know how we be knowing that, we can know generally, we can tell that you are African and y'all can tell that we are American. When we go over there, you're like, hey, where you from, nigga? Y'all know that we're not from there. We look different. I mean, there's some similarities here and there, but generally, there's differences. We can tell differences. And it's okay. And not to disrespect. No disrespect whatsoever. But yeah, we have cultural differences here that are unique and independent of what's going on over there. And that's fine, right?
Yeah, it's fine, but I'd say that they a lot of times when Black Americans go to Africa, they're easily distinguishable because of how you all talk and also the names as well. It could be a very big telltale sign on you not actually being continental African.
Right. And that's another thing we do as foundational Black Americans. We have different naming systems. We have unique names that are very specific to foundational Black American culture, like Shaniqua, Marquand, stuff like that. Those are very unique foundational Black American names. And even when we go to Africa, we don't even have to say anything. People just know that we're different. They can just kind of tell and look. When I went to Tanzania and Zimbabwe, they immediately knew I was American. They just, even before I said anything. So and that's okay, and just like certain people, when we see somebody in Miami or New York, well, hey man, what part of Uganda is your family from? Oh, how did you know, nigga? So yeah, we kind of know for the most part. Yeah.
Oh, I can accept. I guess I'll sit back and listen a little bit more. But I just want to say before I get off that when Africa becomes great, you do have claim to the motherland. You all can come to Africa when it gets great.
Well, damn it, no, they
All
got.
right.
Well, how come we ain't getting the red carpet treatment now?
Well, you all are. It's just you all are fighting the
Where? Okay,
Africanness.
tell us where. Don't say Ghana. What? Because Ghana is giving citizenship or a right to abode to everybody, Indians, whites, everybody. So where are they rolling out the red carpet for us, foundational Black Americans in Africa? Please tell us.
Well, anywhere you
Sir,
go,
no, that
because you're
no.
American.
Where? Name them. Name the place.
Well, my home country,
They're
Equatorial
not rolling
Guinea.
out the red carpet for us, sir. You're just saying stuff. Come on now, don't do that.
You you can buy land there for sure. You're American, of course you're going to get the red carpet
Yeah,
treatment
so
anywhere
we
you
yeah,
go.
okay, we got to bring a bag. Okay, that don't count. If we got to bring a bag,
Well,
we got to bribe cats. That ain't that ain't them rolling out the red carpet. That's just us bribing people. So,
but this is your all's homeland. I mean, you're going to have to pay for anything,
um,
right? You all say
n-
America's your homeland. You're going to have to pay regardless.
no, I'm good. This is my homeland right here, and everything is good.
Right.
I don't have to worry about getting
You're still going
finessed.
to have to pay for a house.
Well,
You're still going to have to pay for a house or land or anything. Nothing free in this world. You
yeah,
know that.
but I won't get finessed by some dude talking about this is my tribe, nigga, and I own it, and then they start taking my furniture, so I don't have to worry about that. All right, that's what I don't have to worry about here. I don't have to worry about Umbutu pulling up in a damn musty dump truck, putting my flat screen in the back, talking about it's his tribes now. So I ain't got to worry about that over here. So I'm good. All right, all right, Arnold. But thank you so much, Arnold. All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's much different. No, it ain't the same. It ain't the same. If I don't pay the rent, yeah, if I'm backed up on the rent, I get evicted. If I back up on the mortgage, the house will go into foreclosure. Over there, you can buy something and then they'll just pull up. Like, no, this is, community property, nigga. They just pull up and take your stuff. Yeah? Hell no. Let's just tell the truth. It's all good. Let's get TMC in the building. TMC in the building. TMC in the What's
Yo,
up, T?
what's going on?
Well, okay, that phone, brother. That phone. You sound
Wait,
like
can
an
you hear me
electric
now?
razor. A little bit better, yes. What's up, brother?
Oh, nothing much. I just had some questions. I know when you was talking about, I think he said Mississippi chop. What was the word he said?
Choctaw?
Yeah. So yeah, I did have some questions about the native black people that were already here. So
Mm-hmm.
are these like were they considered Indians, or could you kind of explain that to me? Because I always see it, but I never really
Yeah,
had a chance to.
when the European explorers came over here, all the Aboriginals, they were, many of them were very dark-skinned people. You had some red natives and you had some ones that were jet black. There was a reason why they called them Indians, because they look like the dark-skinned people who are black skin of India. You see? So there were dark, jet black people running around here. And then they started to reclassify some of these people as Negro. They would put them in slavery. This is well documented. And they put certain laws saying, yes, slavery is going to be reserved for Negroes, mulattoes, and Indians, but white Christians cannot be enslaved. And they were very specific about Negro Indian being enslaved. So it was interchangeable because they looked alike, especially on the East Coast. What we see now of Native Americans, the prototype of Native Americans now are the Plains Indians that were primarily on the West Coast. Many of them, those were the ones who came over through the Bering Strait. They were basically, they got the Asian phenotype. But hell, even some of those on the West Coast in Oregon, you had jet black tribes, and in California, you had jet black tribes. The Ohlone, the Mojave, they were jet black people. So they were all over, according to the descriptions of the European explorers. And what happened was a lot of the Native Americans, they were amalgamated either into black society or into white society, because white people started to pay money to get on the Indian census forms. So they started to whiten up some of the red tribes and blacken up some of the other Aboriginal tribes, and just reclassify them as Negro. So it's very well documented stuff. Look up Walter Plecker, Google some information about him. There's a white supremacist who would reclassify a lot of Native Americans as Negro. So this is a real deep history.
Okay, and so you saying like the Cherokee Indians, they came from the West.
No, they were in the South. The Cherokees were in the South. And again, you had some of the red natives in some of the southern parts too. But you had the Seminoles, which was basically black and red mixed together. And then people would run away. You had some of the runaways who would join the Seminoles. That's what Seminoles mean. Seminoles are an amalgamation of the word runaway. And you have those Choctaws down there that many of them were very black, especially down in Alabama. I've seen them. So, we were scattered all over. New Orleans had a lot of those black native tribes. That's why they have the Mardi Gras Indians when they do the celebrations out there in Louisiana. So there were a lot of black Aboriginals over here. Very well documented.
Okay, so like a Native American, like a actual, like the people that are on the reservations now, right?
Yeah, these are more whiter. Yeah, these are the more white ones who damn near look Hispanic. So the ones on the reservations, the ones they started to federally recognize to give money to, that was one of the prerequisites. Yeah, if they look white enough, or if they could, or they look less black, they would get federal recognition, and then they would get land and resources allocated towards them. Some of the black tribes, like the Washita from Louisiana, they're black, but they wouldn't get federal recognition. I think the Lumbee tribe just got recognition. That's another black-looking tribe that they were struggling to get federal recognition. See, that was the con game. The black Aboriginals, they just wouldn't give them federal recognition. They were like, oh, we'll just reclassify you as Negro, so we don't have to federally recognize you. So they played a lot of paperwork game with the natives.
Okay, I see what you're saying. They basically lumped them in with the people that came from West Africa.
Yeah, and they just basically just reclassified all of the black looking natives as Negro. And what they did, they would kind of lump Africans and black Aboriginals together and just give them a catch-all where you're Negro or you a mulatto. You know? So they kind of blurred the lines. You see?
Gotcha.
There you go.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
All right, but thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you. All right. All right. Let me see. A lot of people in here. Y'all raise your hands if you are ready to get up in here. But yeah, like I said, man, we as foundational Black Americans, our culture is unique and distinct. Our cultural humor is different from that of Africa. Our hair culture is different. Style and fashion is different. Our music art forms are different. Culinary traditions are different. It's different. Yeah, it's different. Just got to be very real about that. Let's get Freedom. Freedom in here. What's up, Freedom? Freedom, hop on in here. Hey, Freedom, how are you?
I'm well. You had said a few moments ago that Lakeisha is a foundational Black American name. Is that correct?
Well, similar names like Shaquita, Taquanda, stuff like that, similar names.
Oh, okay. Well, I think that's a really pretty name, but I was just looking it up, and do you know that like Lakeisha or Keisha, they there's an Arabic origin, there's a Hebrew origin, there is a Hindu origin of that name. And it also has American and English origins. I just wanted you to know, I know that you know everything, but I just wanted you to know. And it also has a Western African word meaning favorite daughter. The Arabic one threw me off, meaning she who lives. So, and then the Hebrew one, I'm like, what? But I just wanted you to know, I was like, wow, it has so many different origins.
Yeah. But yeah, most of the names that foundational Black Americans use, we use a lot of names with the letter Q in them. That's we use a lot of Q names. So that's a telltale sign of a foundational Black American. Because that's unique, and most European names they don't have Q's in them. Most Europeans don't. They don't have Q's in their name. So that's one reason why we gravitated towards the letter Q starting in the 60s and 70s. That's why you see a lot of the Gen Xers and more recent people with those Shaquans, Jaquandas, LaQuisha, stuff like that. So yeah, that's part of the culture.
Oh, yeah, you know what? I made a mistake then because I didn't look up Lakeisha spelled with a Q.
Right, I said LaQuisha, not Lakeisha, LaQuisha with a Q.
Yeah, I made a mistake.
Right.
I made a mistake because I'm looking up something that has no Q in it.
Right.
That's very interesting.
Oh yeah, it's very interesting history. It's very unique. Thank you, dear. Very, very unique. Let's get Goyam. Goyam, hop on in here.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate what you guys do here, and is there any topic of discussion that I don't know about?
No, man, we chopping it up. What's on your mind?
Right now, I had a really good pot soup, like a microwavable one. But honestly, other than that, I appreciate you having me here.
Yes, indeed. Now, when you made your soup, you didn't burn down your trailer park home, did you?
It did not go down in flames.
Good,
I appreciate
good. We don't. The insurance is a bitch on a trailer, so you don't want to burn that down. Okay.
If you burn it down 3 other times, the insurance company starts asking questions. Right?
Oh yeah. We don't need you in the housing projects. We don't need. We don't need that. We don't need a.
Then damn it, bro.
We don't want you to. We don't want you joining a gang because you're white. You'll snitch on everybody. So we don't need that.
If they need meth, though,
Yeah, we don't do meth. That's the thing. You can't even sell us meth. We don't.
What?
Yeah, Black folks don't do meth, so you can't. You won't have customers. You be out there snitching. So we don't need you in the projects. We need you in that trailer park. All right.
So a cracker belongs, right? No, I appreciate having you.
There you go, man. Thank you so much. All right. Dolo, what's up, Dolo?
What's going on, Tariq? My fault for the thumbs down. I was just trying to get your attention. I listen to you. I appreciate the words you speak.
Yes, sir.
But I just wanted to say that it's interesting how the Democrats are starting to try to do work with the Charlie Kirks and all that. And it's like, what do you think the chances they will ever try to do interviews or something like that with more grassroots people like, Vicky and yourself? And also, I got a buddy down there. His name is Tariq's Tether. And I believe you would have a pretty interesting dialogue with him. He's been trying to get up there. So if you see him, if you don't mind letting him.
Okay, I'll holler at him. Tariq's Tether, I'll holler at him. Thank you, Dolo. Yeah, but the Democrats, oh Lord, no. If they sit down with us, so they know better. Well, if they sit down with us, with me, if they sit down and talk with me, guess what? Y'all getting a check. If they have a conversation with me, y'all gonna get a check. Yeah. So they ain't sitting down with me because I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna leave away from that conversation with a check for everybody. Because I'm not gonna go in there playing games with them.
Slide on that rude work. Slide on that rude work. Slide on that rude work. got all that root work.
Darling Radio, like and subscribe. Darling Radio, like and subscribe.
Let's get Shannon. Shannon, how are you?
Hello, I just joined the space, so I'm just wondering what you guys are talking about tonight.
Oh, just different stuff. What's on your mind? We're talking about different stuff. What's on your mind?
Well, I'm like all of you guys. I'm worried about the price of eggs, the price of cheese, whatever it is.
It's all coming down.
Yeah, I think it is. Definitely. And I'm worried about the price of healthcare as well.
All right. All right. Thank you, Shannon. Freedom, what's up, dear? Hop on, Freedom.
Hey. Okay, how do I say this? Tariq, you do realize that the entire planet cannot distinguish between foundational Black Americans to Africans to Caribbeans, Caribbean people, to people moving from Africa to America. You realize you're all Black, right?
And
you
realize that many people cannot distinguish between a Japanese, a Chinese, and a Korean. They're all Asian, yet they have their unique ethnic groups, right?
But Tariq, let me finish. You always cut me off. I'm trying to bring you a point, and I'm always respectful to you.
Let's go. Go ahead.
What I don't understand is that, like, I've been in your spaces a few times, and like you put down people from Africa.
I do not. No, I don't.
You know, you don't like throw curse words, but you're basically saying you're not me, so you're not a part of us. So it's like, what?
That's not
what
a ma'am. But that's not a put down. Just I have a unique ethnic group. The woman who called up was basically trying to pretend to be us, and she's not. That's not a put down. We come from two different ethnic groups. This woman was too ashamed to even name the country she came from. I'm not ashamed of my lineage. So that makes us different even in that respect, right? Uh-huh.
Okay, well, that woman before, I have no idea why she couldn't say where she was from.
Right.
But
yeah, I don't come from that. You ask anybody in my family where they're from, we'll start naming it off.
White people
go ahead.
saying, you're not from here, so you're not one of us. I mean, it's like ridiculous.
No, she's not of my lineage. Yeah.
Not her. I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about all the other people
right.
that come in here.
Yes, none of these people, we respect their lineages. They have to respect ours. What we don't want is people coming over, tethering off of our lineage, pretending to be from our lineage, and then trying to act as representatives for us when they don't have our lineage and our collective interest in mind for betterment. So that's a problem. We don't want outside.
You realize the collective world has no idea how to distinguish the two or three.
Yes, they know. Oh, yes, they know. Because listen, the collective world, they're influenced by foundational Black American culture. When you go around the world, they're dressed like foundational Black Americans. They're not dressed like Ethiopians. When you go around the world, they're not dressed like Nigerians. When you go around the world, they're not dressed like Caribbeans. They're acting, speaking, dancing, and carrying themselves like foundational Black Americans. So people do know.
Sound like you?
They absolutely do know. Excuse me, they do what?
Do you think people in your room right now, do you think they're as educated and speak eloquently like you?
Many of them are, yes. There's a lot of people here. We got Dr. Randy Short here, I'm about to let up. It's a brilliant guy. Brilliant. We got a lot of brilliant people. Sister Brooke, brilliant, beloved sister. We got a lot of great minds. We Sister Wani comes in and out. We have brilliant foundational Black Americans in this room. But go ahead, dear.
Okay, dear.
All right?
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Oh, goodness. Okay, let me get Dr. Randy Short in the building. Speaking of, we got highly intelligent people, man. We got the master teacher, Dr. Randy Short, in the building. Dr. Short, how are you, brother?
Us, man. And
round of applause for you. Got to give you a round of applause.
oh my God, you're teaching tonight. You should have been there. You should be president of Harvard and Howard too. Oh my God. Oh my God. And just, oh my God, brother, we have to tell people the truth. Did you, you know, this is something. It's really bad when folks copy, they do the Elvis Presley thing to us as well.
Yes.
And it's wrong. It's sort of like I have a friend, a good brother, who's Russian and Nigerian by background, but his son is named Fela Kuti. But Fela Kuti is doing a very bad version of James Brown. Fela Kuti learned he was black in America now. He's like the king of Afro pop, even though he's deceased. And they're so proud of Fela Kuti, but Fela Kuti learned that here.
Right.
It's all from here. And we're not mad at them for doing that. But Fela Kuti can't touch Louis Armstrong. He can't touch Fat Waller. He can't touch Miles Davis. He can't touch anything here. I ain't mad if they like him with that slow ass shit that they listen to. Okay. But he's copying something. And this is one of the things I don't like about Scam Africanists. Okay. And, you know, I was talking to Sister Wani. I think you just mentioned her. We talked for about 3.5 hours today. And I was talking to her about all the Pan-African work I used to do. And here's the thing I want to tell everybody, which is why I'll be goddamn, Tariq, if anybody try to correct me. I was in a Pan-African group, did everything, and I asked, hey, can we ever talk about America? Can we ever talk about the police kill? And I stopped. They didn't give a damn about anything that happened.
Uh-oh, Dr. Short. Uh-oh, Dr. Short. Where you at, brother?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you kept going. You're going in and out.
You know what that's about, right? Because when Sister Brooke came on, I couldn't hear one word. I just got off the phone with her. They attacking your space because you're teaching so hard. But I was saying, when I used to do all kinds of work with Pan-African groups, whenever you would ask them, can we do something or even talk about Black American stuff, they would laugh. In fact, they wouldn't even meet, or they would say, none of y'all are interested in us. This is, well, could we have a meeting close to where we live? No. They want to meet in white areas so nobody Black would come and then curse us for not coming. But they want our effort, but they do not want to share any reciprocity. It's the same way when the Caribbeans went and asked for reparations from England and they got flipped off. When they went and asked for reparations back when Obama was president, there was no mention of reparations for us. Yet these devils come here and denounce our getting reparations, try to sabotage our shit. But when they went to get theirs, they got turned down. Some of them are trying to hijack our stuff here, either deny it to us or say they get a piece of ours. Can you imagine? It's like a home invasion. And no, pardon my language, you got to get the fuck out. It's our house. I don't hate anybody. Just as sure as I'm talking to you, I'm talking to my friend in Malawi whose life I saved. I don't hate folk in Africa, but we got to deal with the fact that we got a cross and a struggle and a cause and a history and a legacy and a lineage. And I like the way you delineated with, pardon my language, I'm going to say it, that bush bitch that you had on, who's trying to hook up with that, because to me, if you sold us out, we can't be the same people, the same way, no matter how great a general. The best American general in the American Revolution until he sold out was who? Benedict Arnold. But once he sold out, none of the good he did mattered. None of our connections matter at the point that you betrayed us and sent us into genocide and servitude. That's when we cease to be yours. Okay, so I don't hate anyone. I claim my lineage wherever it is, but we've got our struggle here, and you rarely find anyone that wants to stand 10 toes down with us here. There are some, and we love them. And we're not mad about where people see. It's not where you come from. It's what you do once you get here.
Right.
And most of the folks are doing is backstabbing, betraying, doing basically a foo-foo Elvis Presley act. And we're not taking it. And brother, keep standing. Let me land so other people can talk. But brother, keep doing it. You have me up here laughing at 4 o'clock it's 5 o'clock almost. It's true. Delineate, emancipate, and then compensate.
Yes, indeed. Good man, Dr. Short. Give it up for Dr. Short, ladies and gentlemen. Big GT, what's happening, man?
You can't be coming out here and lying like this. I thought you was a historian, my guy. You're not telling the true history yourself.
Okay, what's the lie? What's the lie?
That your ancestors also tried to enslave other Africans and got enslaved themselves.
None of my
Like you have to tell the truth. Yeah, yes.
No, they didn't.
Yes.
It's your musty ass people that got people
That means
caught up.
that can't be, bro.
It was your musty ancestors that were selling people.
It can't be. It can't be, bro. Like you have to accept it 50-50.
It ain't no 50-50.
One of your ancestors was a slave catcher, and one was a victim of a slave catcher. You know what I'm saying? That's how it goes.
Family were the victims of your musty ancestors, sir, and that's why y'all failed now because of the karma.
I heard your ancestors were in France selling slaves, my guy. So I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? Your history of your family is even booky. You know what I'm saying?
I don't have any French in my family, so I don't know what page you got that from. So you tell us lie. So that's it. Y'all were lying back in the 1400s and you're lying now, sir.
Bro, this like you had EJ up here coping, that special needs kid that should worry about improving his grades in school, not worrying about Africans and fly squatting and shit. He probably shits his pants still. He can't even go toilet by himself, but he's talking about other.
Well, at least there's a toilet to go to. I mean, you guys come from where you're wiping your ass on the curb, sir. You're shitting on streets and on the pavement, sir. So you cannot talk about our brother EJ, and you have to wipe your ass with ostrich feathers, sir. So you're not going to say anything about our brother EJ at all, sir.
I've seen videos of people in the South shitting in the streets behind their.
I've seen nobody in the South of the United States shitting in the streets unless they're homeless.
I've got the video.
Unless they're homeless and crazy, or your fellow tethers. Yeah, we don't do
Tariq, I've got the video.
No, you
Tariq,
don't.
I've got the video.
You don't have a video.
Don't make me post it, Tariq. Don't make me post it, Tariq.
You don't have a video.
Don't make me post it.
No, you don't have a video of us doing that, sir. No, that's not part of the culture, sir. They have to have signs in your homeland telling you to chill out with shitting on the streets, sir. I mean, good grief. That's why you're up there in the UK right now, stanking, eating some English muffins, sir. So just recognize that you had to split from the shit. All right, let's just keep it a buck. All right. So anyway,
the obsession with shit and
get out of here. All right, you had to split from the shit. All right, let's get Bad Ika in the building.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I'm a Somalian tether.
Okay.
And I want 50 lashes for all the disrespect these tethers from Africa bring over here and disrespecting our brothers. And you know, in Africa, especially Somalia, we don't have a country. We don't know how to run a government or anything. We're running from our country, we're coming to America, and we're disrespecting our brothers, African American brothers. I don't accept that, you know.
There you go. Now I appreciate you calling them out. Captain, what's up, Captain? Captain, you can unmute that mic. That'll be phenomenal. Captain. Mr. Captain, that would be great. All right. Yes, indeed. Captain, where you at, man? Hurry up. Get up in here with that janky phone. All right. All right, let's get Descendant. Let's get Descendant up here. I remember you from the other day. I can't remember what the conversation is. Descendant. Hop in, Descendant. Mr. Descendant, it would be great if you can unmute your mic. There's some connectivity issues going on, so Usually it's like that with tether phones. So I don't know what you guys got going on, but both of your phones are having a janky time loading up. All right. So while we're waiting on that, let's try. Let me get a new face. We've been in here for a long time, by the way, too. We've been up here for a long time. Let's get Captain. Let's get Captain. Let's try Captain again. And then we'll get Descendant again. Captain, you good?
I'm good. Hi, Tarek. How are you?
I'm good, Captain. How are you? What's on your mind?
Yeah.
Hold on,
Oh,
Descendant.
descent.
Trash.
Descendant. Hold on.
No, hell no. You do that every time, bro. Trash.
Okay, you're just gonna bogart your way in like this is the immigration office? I mean, don't you got to sit down and
Oh,
you got to
yo,
sit down and take a
also
number.
janky ass
You got to
shit.
sit
You're
down.
like, I'm gonna
You
bring
got to
some.
sit down and take a number, sir. You just can't run across the border. This is not the U.S. border where you just got you a bag of bushmeat running across the damn field. Calm down, Descendant. What are you upset about? Descendant, what are you upset about, sir? Okay, you're just not going to just start talking all willy-nilly, just bogarting your way in. No, it don't work like that, sir. You got to sit down, put some deodorant on, and wait for your number to be called. All right, while we're waiting on Descendant to demystify himself, let's get Captain. Captain, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, thank you, Tarek. So I'm sympathetic to the concerns of the so-called Foundation of Black African. I'm quite sympathetic to that.
What's
And you
a
mean me
foundational
for
black?
this
What's a
shit.
foundational black African? What's that?
So, just based on your definition, you're talking about a new species of Africans, according to you, if I understand you correctly, that are a product of not just the American social political context, but as well as slavery.
But
So there is that.
no,
Um,
This man's
that
living
term is a
in a white
that term.
man's society and
Man,
complain.
if you don't shut your ass up. But yeah, that term foundational black African, that contradicts itself. You're not foundational because Africa's been around for millions of years. Um,
And you're still living here on Instagram and TikTok.
okay, I'll get you in a minute, Descendant. Calm down. Calm down. I'm not talking to you, sir.
Descendant is
I
sounding
can't
off
wait.
more
Let's
now.
do
I
this.
don't know
Okay,
what's
Come
going
on.
on
but
with
you,
Descendant.
Descendant, you're gonna have to respect our African brother, though. All right, he's talking.
I do respect
Then let
that.
him
I don't
talk.
respect you because
But let him
you're
talk.
simping people.
Let him talk. You're not in a
High
Descendant, do
five.
what I
Descendant.
did.
Let me
No,
talk to my
go
brother.
eat a goat or
All
something.
right.
Eat a
High
goat while
five.
I'm
All
talking
right,
to Tarek
Descendant, I
for a
got
minute.
you. You're not going nowhere,
Okay.
Descendant. I got you. I got to talk to my brother
I
here
can't
first.
wait.
Yeah, I
I
got
can't
you.
wait. Let him go.
All right.
Let him go.
All right. Now, Captain,
Thank, thank, thank,
yeah, like I said,
thank
the
you.
descendant of
I don't know
black,
why niggas can't respect rules. It's so weird.
right.
Anyway,
But yeah, the descendant of
so
black Africans, that's a contradictory term. And we're not descendants of black Africans. We're descendants, we're foundational black Americans. You said foundational black Africans. We're foundational black Americans.
Don't
yeah,
get shit
but
f***ed up, by the way. You're
Dude,
on Twitter right now simping people. So that's the thing.
I'm
Let the
doing
man
what?
go.
I'm doing what to people? What?
Let the man talk. You're a simp. Go ahead.
Okay, you're just saying random
Descendant,
words,
what's wrong with
Descendant.
you?
Okay.
Yo, this guy
Yeah.
is
No,
wild.
he's talking about like, oh, I'm so African descendant,
Okay, what I'm
but
gonna
you're
do, because I'll get you in a second. I just took you off because you act like he thinks this is the immigration office. But yeah,
Mm.
foundational black Africans, that's a contradictory term. Yeah, we're foundational black Americans. Yeah, Africans been around for a long time. Everybody
Are you suggesting? Are you suggesting that you have no African origins?
never
Is
said
that
that.
what you suggesting?
Didn't say that whatsoever.
Then, but why isn't the African in your description of this new species of Americans that you are so concerned
Because
about?
I'm not a continental African. See?
So when we refer to white Americans as Italian American, European Americans, do we deny them their Americanness? Is there something wrong with that particular description of this species of people?
Yeah, most white Americans, they don't really identify as Italian Americans. Yeah, they would do that when they first immigrated here. But
But what are your
after
presidents doing? Going to, Ireland, Joe Biden, Obama, everyone with even just a dot of, a small percentage of Irishness, they always want to go to Ireland. What's that about?
I don't know what that, I don't even know what that means. I'm just saying we are foundational Black Americans. I can't claim Africa. Africa doesn't claim me. I don't have any citizenship
Well,
nowhere in Africa.
you are generalizing. That's the issue, Tariq. You talk as if you've met every single
I
Africans,
don't
and
have
as
to.
though
Well,
Africans are a monolith.
right, but no African nation has granted us easy citizenship and given us anything. So why am I claiming anything in Africa when nothing in Africa is giving us anything? Right?
Yeah, Africans have been busy fighting for their own freedoms
Right.
and so, to be honest with you, and also fighting for economic
Right.
freedom.
So why should I?
That
So
many
why?
of them
Okay.
were
So
less.
you're doing you, and we're doing us. So why
Yeah,
should we claim you?
but what does that translate to? I am not African, denying your ancestry.
Yeah, everybody has African ancestry at one point, right?
What I am saying to you is something a bit more
No,
fundamental than
sir.
that,
Everybody,
Tariq.
sir. White people got African ancestry. That's why when they do DNA tests, there's some African DNA that shows up there. But they've
Yeah,
had
but
an ethnogenesis just like we had an ethnogenesis, sir.
if we get into evolutionary biology, we are going to have several
Right.
contestations. You're taking it for granted that those issues are self-evident. There are, when you talk about evolutionary biology, there are areas where people are still debating, but your ancestry as an African is not in question, is it not?
Everybody has African ancestry. That's what I'm saying, sir.
Okay, so to put it differently, your ancestry. Okay, so for
I
example,
don't have
so
any African relatives in Africa. I can't
so
go and
so you you
I
you you
can't
you
point to a
claim you
cousin.
claim your
I
roots to
can't listen.
Africa are just the same as that of
I
the
I
Chinese. Is
don't
that your
have a
claim?
cousin or an uncle or an auntie in Africa nowhere, sir. This is what I'm saying.
Okay, so for somebody to belong to a people, they must have a people in that
Yeah, that's what
particular.
a lineage. That's what a lineage is, where you can trace cousins, grandmothers, aunts, uncles. That's what a lineage is. You can trace
So so
specific
so
people.
me as an African in Europe, if all my peoples were to die, God forbid, then I'm no longer African based on that view.
That doesn't
Is
make
that
any
what you're saying
sense.
to
That
me?
makes zero sense, sir.
You are suggesting that if you don't have people on the continent of Africa, then you're not African.
If
So if by some misfortune, my entire clan were to pass, then I'm no longer African.
no,
By
because
some
you know
miracle, I
that
become
clan. No, 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 no,
European and
no,
only
no, no.
European.
That's like saying if my mother and father died and my grandparents died, that I'm no longer American. No, because I know them. I know the
But that's
lineage.
exactly what you're
That's
saying,
not what
Tariq.
I'm
You're saying you have
saying,
no
sir.
African
That's
ancestry
not what I'm
because you have
saying,
no
because
aunties on the
that's
continent of
not what I'm
Africa. That's
saying,
what you're
because
saying.
I still know their lineage. I still know my family's lineage. In Africa, if your people died tomorrow, you still know their lineage. You still know who your
But
cousin
if I was
was.
an orphan who was picked up by some white family and I do not know my people, and everybody that could tell me about my people is dead, would that mean I'm not African?
Yeah, well, sir, if you have not been there for damn near half a millennia and you've had an ethnogenesis and those nation states don't even exist no more, then no, you're not that no more, sir.
Which nation states are you
Yeah,
talking
none of
about?
them, none of the nation.
The, the,
But, sir, I've been here
give
longer.
me an example of
I've
an
been
African
here.
nation and people that
I've
don't
been
exist from
here.
which you came.
My family has been here as foundational Black Americans longer than damn near all of those African nations that are currently there now. The only African nation that was there then was Ethiopia, pretty much. But other than that, those African nations have been
That is
remixed.
not historically true.
Those
We know African kingdoms that exist to this day that have existed for thousands of years. The Shaunas, the
those are
Bugandas, we have
tribes.
the
Those are just tribes. Those
Ashantis.
are just tribes. Those are tribes. Those are not kingdoms no more. Those are
But Africans
tribes.
are a tribal people, just like Europeans were a
Right,
tribal
but no,
people. They were
those
not
are
nations,
roaming
but
those are
tribes.
roaming tribes, sir. Those kingdoms don't
But so
longer
were
exist.
Europeans.
Right, but yeah, those are
The
roaming. So
Saxons
yeah,
and the
so
Scots,
sir,
they're all
slow
just a bunch of tribes.
down. those roaming tribes have been remixed. So they roam one place, then other people become part of that tribe, then they move a little farther south, then other people become parts of that tribe. So it's a rotating tribe that rotates people, sir. It's not the same group of people. You understand? So yeah, they rotate in Rome, and then what
Can you
happens?
give me a concrete example of such a people, is what I'm asking? Because the Scots are a tribe. They maintain their distinct identity, so do the Irish. In Africa, the Bashonas, they've existed for a very long time. They're an ancient people. So are the Bugandas. So are the Bembas. They're as some of them are as ancient as Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
which people? Give me an example of a people
now,
in
are you
Africa
saying now
that
what?
are a
Now,
new
which?
people
Slow
that are no
down.
longer the people
Now,
that they've
which
always been.
tribe do you say have been there longer than the people of Egypt? Are you saying they've been in the same location?
I said they are as old as the people of
Have they
Egypt.
been in the same
Remember, are you familiar
location?
with the Bantu migration, Terry?
Have they been in the same location?
Are you familiar with the Bantu migration?
Yeah,
No people
yeah,
have ever been in the
yeah, but
same.
they've
No
always
people have
moved
ever been in
around.
the same place all the time. Africans were nomadic.
Right. That's what I'm saying. The people move around, they migrate all over, so they're not in one spot. That's why
Terry.
we can't claim any of those areas because they've been revolving and moving and being remixed for centuries. So they cannot point to one group of people over there and say, "Hey, you're part of that."
This is the
Because
concern I have with
okay,
Black Africa.
man, family, and this guy is proving my point for me, and he knows this. You can't point to no group in Africa now and say you're that. They've been remixed too much over there. They've had their little ethnogenesis. They've been tribes by name, but the people have been remixed. So yeah, we're different. We've had an ethnogenesis. That's what I'm saying. So I'm
I'm
not.
asking you which people are those. I studied African history. Give me an example of such a people. You're generalizing.
You just did,
Africa,
sir. You've
there are
already
more
did. You've already said that
there are
they've
more
moved
differences
around.
between Africans than.
You've already said how the people have moved around and had Bantu migrations. You
Would you
said
allow
that.
me to clarify?
You
Because
said
you keep
that.
on
So I'm
muting me,
agreeing with,
Terry.
we're actually in agreement, sir. So I don't know what the difficulty is. We're in agreement, right? And we had a
Would
foundational
you
Black
allow
American.
me to make my point instead of
Yeah.
muting me?
Yeah. You're not muted. You're not muted, sir.
Oh, okay.
Go
So what
ahead.
I'm saying is, here's how Africans lived. There were tribes in Africa where, for example, certain seasons it gets dry in one part of the country, they would move their cattle to the place which is raining. But when that place becomes dry, they'll cross the river to the part which is raining. They would move looking for food. It doesn't mean they change the country, they just change parts of the country.
No, the country has changed. The ecology
What
has
do you mean the
changed.
country has
Yeah, if there's
changed?
a drought, a lot of those places, like the Sahara Desert was not always a desert. There were tribal groups on there thousands of years
We
ago.
know where our
Listen, and
ancestors
when it
are
became,
buried for hundreds.
listen, come on now. When it became a desert, people had to move somewhere else. So they had to migrate based on ecology, environment, invasions. When the Muslims came, those Arabs came invading Africa. When the Hyksos came invading Egypt, people had to move here, move there because of certain circumstances, just like us, our circumstance. We came here, we were brought here, and we mixed in with the other Black people who were here for thousands of years. That's called an ethnogenesis, sir. So
America is about 500 years old.
yeah,
There are nations
but
in Africa that are older than that. What are you talking about,
sir,
Terry?
most of the nations over
You are
there
younger than the
now,
Zulus in years.
sir.
And yet you discount the Zulus and
The
you take
no,
America
no,
seriously, which is
no, that's
500
not
years
true. The
old.
Zulus didn't get by name until like the 1600s. The Zulus are
The
relatively new.
Zulus are Ngunis. Zulu is a new name, but they are Ngunis.
Right. So
And
the name,
Ngunis
right.
are
So
all
the
over the South.
names, this is what I'm saying. Okay, yeah, the Zulus, that name is not an ancient thing. That name has only been around for a
But
few hundred
Ngunis are
years.
an ancient people.
Yeah, but yeah, they got remixed and they brought in other people, mixed in with other people, and then in the 1700s, they became the Zulus then, sir.
Mixed with who? Give me an
With other
example.
people who
We marry
migrated
each
down in
other
South
as
Africa.
Africans. It
With
doesn't.
other people who migrated down there in South Africa. You have all types of different tribes that are nomadic.
Which ones is the question I'm asking?
Dude, you got all types of them. What you mean?
What you
Which
need?
all of them are nomadic? Sir, what tribal group has been in one place in Africa for thousands of years? Who? You tell me. What group in that? What tribe has
Unmute me.
Okay, there you go. What tribe has been in Africa in the same place for thousands of years?
Okay, so
That's
for
a
example,
question.
the Bemba people, one.
Bimba, where
The
in what
Shona
location?
people
What
of
location?
Zimbabwe. The Shona people of Zimbabwe are so ancient that some of the structures that have been built in Zimbabwe are older, or even as old as parts of Egypt,
Right.
is the point I'm making.
The Bimba people are where?
Of Zambia, for example.
In Zambia.
Yes,
Okay. And
the Mwatakazembe people,
the Bimba
the
people have been
Ushis, the Bisas, the Luvas of Zambia,
the Bimba.
and
Are you
Congo.
saying the Bimbas have been the same group right now? That's
Same group, same place. We can trace their kings as far. They're much older than America as a people.
okay. And here's the problem: if they've been there for thousands of years and people don't even know how to build roads and toilets and infrastructure,
What has
and they're still
development got to
struggling,
do with
we
whether a
ain't that.
people are
I ain't
ancient,
that.
Derek?
I ain't that. Okay, I ain't that. If y'all been there that damn long and you still shitting in the streets, I'm not that. That
Who
proves that I'm
said
not
people
that.
shit on the
There's
street?
something
That's
they
just a
ain't doing
cheap. That's
right.
a cheap
We
shot, Derek. You know that.
no. We got a
People are
different
shitting on the
mindset.
streets in San Francisco. What are
No,
you
they're
on
not. No,
about?
they're
That's
not.
a
No,
cheap
sir. We're
shot.
not still living in
You're
dilapidated
shitting on the streets
villages.
in San Francisco.
If you've been in the same damn place for 1,000
America
years,
is developed. Why are
and
people
you
shitting on the
shitting
streets in San Francisco?
you are sitting in a dilapidated village shitting on the sidewalk, we're different, sir. That's what I'm
That's just a
saying.
cheap shot. Let's have an
That's not a
honest
cheap
conversation.
shot. Let's keep it a buck. That's not a cheap shot. I'm different. We're different. We're not the same as a foundational Black American. We built all types of
You're
shit.
different because
We
you are
built all
bigoted.
types of
That's
shit. No,
all,
sir.
Derek. You're
We
different
built all
because
types
you're
of shit within a
bigoted.
couple of
That's
hundred
all.
years. No. We built all types of things within a couple of hundred years. Sir, you're not going to tell me I'm the same as a group that's been in the same place for 1,000 years and they have not built roads. They still got dirt roads, huts, and shitting on sidewalks, sir. We're different, and you
Our
prove that.
ancestors in your blood,
Yes,
they
indeed. Thank you so much. You
disagree.
proved my point. Thank you so much. Thank you for proving my point, sir. All right. Thank you for proving my point. We're different. We're very different. I'm not going to be in the same place and with a damn dirt road. Ain't nobody figured out how to make concrete and asphalt yet? Huh? And we over here got 50,000 patents coming out of slavery and we're the same? No. No disrespect. I'm not even saying that to be disrespectful. I'm just saying that to be logical and practical. Yeah, we're different. That's what I'm saying. We're different. Yeah, I'm not claiming that. Yeah, I'm foundational Black American. Yeah, I'm not claiming that. We got all the tethers in. Pia's about to come. The tethers are mad now. The room is getting real musty. We got a Pia. The room got mud. They didn't like that. They don't like me bringing those truth. We got Ashy Apia. He's in here. He popped up like a musty candy man. Ashy Apia, what's happening?
Disgruntled wannabe white Tariq.
Oh
What's going on?
Lord, that's you projecting, Negro. That's you projecting. That's you when you ain't over in Ghana. You over here in LA with me, in the city that my people got popping. Shout out to Biddy Mason. But go ahead.
All right, I'm not even going to get into
I know
that
you're
part.
not, but go ahead. You're gonna get into
You
your
was,
Uber and drive us some orders around, but go ahead.
yeah. I'm trying to do that real quick. But before I do that, let me ask you a
Ask
question.
me up here.
So if you're telling me, right, per your own statement, if the Tariq family, right, let's say move from the United States and settle, let's say, in Morocco, does that mean that they lose their family, clan, heritage, lineage based on the fact that they move from one place to the other?
Yeah, if I'm in Morocco for 500 years, then yeah, there's going to be an ethnogenesis that happens in that time space.
Okay, what's your definition of
That
ethnogenesis?
means you become a whole different ethnic group based on ecology, environment, experiences, and history and lineage. We have a very
Okay,
unique lineage that's unique and different from yours, Apia. That's why we're different.
listen, the only thing I agree with you today, right, is the fact that we're different. Clearly, we're different, bro. We are 100% different. Like, come on, dog. Ain't no way you would find an African with such mindset like yours.
You
So we
damn
did.
right. I agree. I
Listen.
agree.
You would
You damn right, because my mindset is not to flee. So you're right. I agree.
listen,
I agree.
listen,
Yeah, my mindset
listen.
is to stand on business and not flee. So yeah, I agree.
Okay, all right. Let's bring it back to LA.
Mm-hmm.
You and I are in LA, right? So we can talk about LA.
Mm-hmm.
Now, okay, let's use the black community in LA as an example. You live in Chalkworth, right? That's where you at.
Uh-huh.
Okay, great. It's not like Inglewood, right? You know that there's gentrification going on in Inglewood.
Yeah.
They've moved the black folks all the way to what's the name? Almost 100 miles away from LA. What's the name?
Lancaster, there are a lot of black,
Etc.
Riverside,
Yes,
all over the place. Yeah, they got black folks all over the place based on their
exactly,
economics. Yeah.
exactly. How? Listen, which part of Lancaster is right there? You know, the big talk you're doing, all the rah you're doing. Look at Lancaster.
What about it?
A very terrible place.
No, it's not. No, it's
Nothing like.
not. No, it's not.
Come
Lancaster's
on,
not a
come
terrible
on,
place.
come on,
Terrible
Terry.
how? Terrible
Listen, you
how?
know the listen,
Terrible how? No.
drugs.
Terrible
Listen,
how?
no,
Terrible
I'm
how?
telling you. Listen.
Terrible how? Answer the damn
Let
question.
me tell you then. Let
What
me
you
tell
talking
you.
about?
Right?
Terrible.
No. Let me tell you. First of all, right, when we talk of poverty, like first
Ain't
class
no
poverty.
poverty in no damn Lancaster like
What?
that. What
What?
poverty?
You ever been there?
Yeah, I had a house in
What?
Lancaster before.
Listen. When we talk of
You got a bunch of
abject
suburban
poverty.
homes in Lancaster. It's not no
Oh no!
poverty
Please
out
stop
there
it.
like that.
Stop it.
What
No,
poverty in
stop it, Tariq.
Lancaster?
No, Tariq, stop it. Stop it.
What
All right.
poverty
Lancaster.
is okay? You ain't just gonna sit here lying. What poverty is in Lancaster? Lancaster, the cost of living is hella cheap out there. What poverty is in Lancaster?
Let me ask you. You're gonna say, you saying that
Okay,
the black folks?
what's that in the background? Okay, what is that?
Man, cut it out.
No,
Cut it out.
are those kids in there?
What has that got to do with the
What are
conversation?
them
My
kids
question
doing
to
up
you
this
is:
time?
are you saying
What are
that?
them
See, the
kids?
way
Wait,
you
hold
talk, you say
on.
you stand.
What the hell are them kids doing up this time? It's like 2 a.m. What them kids doing up over there? Do you have them kids up there doing Postmates orders with you? What the hell are you doing with them kids up late? Hold on. Why you got them kids up delivering Postmates? What the hell is wrong with you?
All right, that's a good
Hold
one.
on.
Back to the
Hold on.
subject
Wait.
matter.
There's a little African kid at my door. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I got an African kid. I think it's one of your kids. Come up here. Wait.
Hello?
Hello? Hello? Up in the door, nigga? Hello? This is the Peter Jr. Up in the door, I got some dead taco for you, nigga. Up in the door. It is cold out here, nigga. The milkshake is going to melt, nigga. Open the goddamn door. I gotta go back home to daddy. It is cold out here. I'm going to freeze in my dashiki, nigga. It is, hurry up, open the door and get the Burger King order. I'm wearing flip-flops and an overcoat. Open the door, nigga.
All right. I had to pee. I'm sorry. All right. Any last words to pee? I had to get you, brother. I'm sorry. How you got them?
Yeah, I ain't got nothing to say
There
to you,
you
Tariq.
go.
Hey,
All
I'll
right.
see you later. I ain't got nothing to say
There
to you
you go.
today.
Thank you. All right. How you got them damn kids up this time of night? Good freaking grief. Oh, goodness. All right. Anyway, y'all, look, I'm gonna be on here. I'll be on here all night with y'all messing around. All right, let me get up out of here, family. Let me begin on that note. Yeah, and everybody, listen, I need everybody to go to Hidden History Museum. Make a contribution to the Hidden History Museum, everybody. That is our institution. Grassroots from top to bottom. Everybody contribute to the Hidden History Museum.